school groups about safety on the water. And hopefully with that younger generation, they're going home, putting on their life jackets and also sharing that message with their parents so that they can set the good example.
She says in response to the deadly weekend, the DNR and other local authorities are preparing to deploy stepped-up patrols across the state's shared waterways. Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830, WCCO.
Police in Brooklyn Park are looking for suspects after a shooting left a 16-year-old dead. It happened last night about 11 o'clock at Hartkoff Park, which is near Central High School. Police arrived to find the teenager shot. They tried saving him there at the park, but he died. Investigators are trying to figure out what led up to that shooting. They are getting some help from the Hennepin County Sheriff's Department. Dozens of Allina hospice workers are staging a one-day strike today with the hope of restarting contract negotiations. The talks have been going on for more than a year, and the union's Sam Larrick says work environment needs to change.
The main issues are that our caseloads are pretty high right now, so there's a lot of patients that a nurse may have to see. Sometimes instead of doing like 4 or 5 visits a day, we're expected to do like 6 or 7 visits a day because of staffing.
Allina administrators say they are disappointed with the strike, suggesting the union members continue meaningful negotiations. A mediator took part in the most recent round of talks. It was 10 years ago today when Philando Castile was shot and killed by a police officer during a traffic stop in Falcon Heights.
The shooting was live streamed on social media from inside Castile's car, and it sparked violent protests for several days throughout the Twin Cities. Officer Geronimo Yanez was cleared of any wrongdoing by a Ramsey County jury, but was fired from his job with the city of St. Anthony. The site of the shooting has been converted into the Philando Castile Peace Garden. A candlelight vigil takes place there tonight. St. Paul City Council declared today Restoration Day to remember Castile. They also declared tomorrow Unity Day with a community barbecue scheduled for outside City Hall. Al Shock, News Talk 830 WCCO.
WCCO News Time is 3:05.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And this update brought to you by Laguna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. Stop and go stuff in place for westbound 94, Carmichael Road to the St. Croix River Bridge. Southbound 35W, that's jammed up with the slow stuff as you come down from 106, heading down to Cliff Road. South 169, minor slowdowns move down from Hench Lake Parkway to Pioneer Trail. Attention motorists, Laguna, Minnesota wants you to slow down when driving in construction zones. You are now entering their work zone where they are building a better Minnesota for you. So please slow down when you see the orange cones and yellow vests. Save lives. Brought to you by Laguna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader. Find them at Dickeys.com. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer with the forecast.
We'll be mostly cloudy tonight. The thunderstorms up in northwestern Minnesota should be fizzling out by the time they get here. 71 the overnight low. Mostly cloudy tomorrow. We could see some showers and thunderstorms pop very late in the day. Should be up around 88 in the afternoon. It will be humid again. Wednesday, we'll see those scattered showers and perhaps a few isolated thunderstorms lingering throughout the day. Cooler because of that with a high of 82. We do dry out and it gets hot by this weekend.
All right, right now, again, a few clouds, 87 degrees at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hot topics, cool conversations. News Talk 830 WCCO. You're thinking about it. Jason's talking about it. There are no breaks on bold takes here. Buckle up. This is Drive Time with DeRUSHA. Tuned up and rolling thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRUSHA.
I am glad that Donald Trump stuck up for Team USA. I am. I think it's fine. If you are mad about an American
soccer player being reinstated to play for America tonight. If you're mad about this, you should be put in a cannon and launched back to England, because why do you hate our country? 651-461-9226. The rules are rules crowd. The what about ethics crowd could not be more full of crap. I think it is the peak of hilarity, the way people are falling all over themselves to be upset, including some that I saw saying that they're going to cheer for Belgium tonight. How much do you hate Donald Trump to be this deranged about it? So by now you probably know the story. I hope you've been following the World Cup. It's been fun. Last night's England-Mexico game was an all-timer, just fantastic. And our American team on this weekend that we celebrate America has our biggest goal scorer back in the game, back in the action. They reversed the suspension, or they suspended the suspension. So it's like if you get a ticket and they say, well, we're going to wipe this from your record if you don't do anything bad again. It's sort of like that, is my understanding. Are we really mad that Donald Trump called the head of FIFA, Donald Trump, recipient of the FIFA Peace Prize? So he called his buddy and said, hey, this seems like a raw deal for America. Could you, what can we do? Can you give this another look? Now, if you are the recipient of the FIFA Peace Prize, you certainly are not making threats. You're a man of peace. In fact, here was Donald Trump earlier today talking about the relatively minor, what I think, very understandable thing that he did.
All I did, I asked for a review because I didn't think it was a foul. Yeah. And, again, I'm good at this stuff. I didn't think it was a foul. I thought it was two great athletes that crashed into each other and got entangled. That was not a guy punching somebody in the face or anything that, would be different.
That's right.
And I think it's a terrible, if they wouldn't allow, a top player, maybe the best, maybe among the best players on the team.
We don't know.
To play. I think it would have had a big stain.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And so you wimps, you America haters, you Belgian waffles, you people who are mad at Donald Trump for making a reasonable request to FIFA to say, I mean, I don't know how you punish a guy by making him not play another game. Donald Trump apparently just learning about suspensions, that sometimes if you do something wrong, you do get suspended for the next game. I don't think it was a foul. I certainly don't think it was a red card. Now, in soccer, you do get red cards for sort of a move where it's like cleats up, where it is, you're watching it in real time and it looks like, that was just a soccer play. But there are certain scenarios where you do get a red card. Soccer officiating to me is perhaps the most hilarious officiating of any of the sports, because it's never really all that clear as to what is a foul and what isn't. And sometimes they call it and sometimes they play on, and sometimes there's a yellow card and sometimes there's a red.
If you want to know what a foul is, watch this play, because it was 100% a foul. It was absolutely a foul.
It was a foul.
Does it need to be a red card and a game suspension? I don't think so.
Right.
But it was absolutely a foul.
And so
he didn't come close to the ball. He just, cleated the guy in the leg.
And a lot of what the complaints are about in officiating today is that we go into super slow-mo and everything looks terrible in super slow-mo. I'm not even I am not a FIFA soccer expert. What I am an expert in is cheering for my team. And I don't care that the president made a call. I love it. Make the call. This is an international soccer organization. You telling me they can't just say like, well, the president called and said, take another look. We took a look. Too bad. He's suspended. They could have said too bad. Now, do I wish Trump did this differently? Yes. Neil is in St. Paul. Neil, are you mad that the president made a call to FIFA?
You know how I feel. I think Neil from St. Paul. I think we know, right? You know how I feel. About Trump. No, I'm disagreeing with you. I think Trump should not have called.
What?
Shame on you, my friend Donald.
What?
Yes. He has no business interfering in a soccer match, hockey game, football game. He's the president.
He's very good at this stuff. We just heard him. He said he's very good at it, though.
Well, he's very good at everything. You know. You know what? I think he played soccer, but
now listen to this, Neil. Here is the president talking about some of his intense knowledge of soccer.
He didn't do anything wrong, and he's our best player or one of our best players. A very vital player, and he gave him a red card. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't think it meant much. Then I started hearing that means he can't play in the next game, at least in the next game. Yeah. I said, boy, that's a big. If it happened to another player, it would have been unfair. But when they take your best player or just about, they have some great players, and they say you can't play.
Right.
That's very unfair.
Neil, I mean, he didn't know what a red card was.
Well, you know what? I'm not a soccer guy either, but I knew what a red card was from when my kids played, but I did not play soccer. But two things is that was not an egregious or I think not categorized as a red card. He hit him, he kicked him, but it was not, isn't it? Well, Jason, is it like an intentional thing, more a red card, or is it like you just get him with your cleats?
So it's supposed to be an intentional thing. It's supposed to be like you took an action, but there are certain soccer moves that are deemed dangerous. And so while you're not trying to hurt someone, in the rules of it. So, I think there's some debate on this. Most people, I think, thought that this red card was maybe an overreaction around the world. Yeah. Now, of course, everybody's mad at America because Trump.
Well, it looked kind of nasty. I mean, sure. I mean,
in the slow-mo it did, for sure.
Yeah. So did Joe Theismann when Lawrence Taylor fell on his leg. Okay.
True.
True. But you know what? Now you're getting into the point of mind reading where.
Oh. Dan just hung up. Wow, Dan. Wow. That's rough, Neil. Neil,
sorry about that, Neil. My bad.
Neil is a Trump guy and says Trump shouldn't have made the call. I think it's fine. And if this international organization doesn't have the stones to tell Trump too bad, what I say to them is you guys are a bunch of pansies getting pushed around by America. And after the 4th of July weekend, you know what I like? I like a return to America pushing people around a little bit. Like, we got to win. We can't get a win in the wars that we are fighting, but we got to win. America's back, baby. Drive time, taking a break. Keep the texters are shockingly not thrilled with me, Dan. You are just a proponent of cheating. I would like you to know I am 100% against cheating when other people do it to us. But, if it's on our side, I just call it strategy. Drive time back in just a minute.
Drive time with DeRUSHA is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
You don't have to have a hookup or a powerful connection to get a better rate on your insurance or to get better coverage. The Canopy Group is my insurance brokerage. Jason here for this great Minnesota company. Great friend of WCCO Radio. The Canopy Group has been saving CCO listeners money for decades, and now is your time. What are you waiting for? If you have seen your home and or auto insurance rate lately, it probably made you go like, 800-967-3389. That is the first step for you to reaching out to see if you can save some money. The Canopy Group has 16 companies at their disposal, 16 insurance companies. They're all great, but some are better in certain areas. Some might be better for different scenarios. Some might be better for your zip code, your home's age, your car, whatever the case may be, and that is the magic of the Canopy Group. They will get you the best company for you. Not like, oh, you come to me and I got to push you into my company because I work for them. Canopy Group works for you. 16 companies, one call. Sounds pretty good to me. 800-967-3389. Or request a quote online at canopygroup.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-619-3377. That's 800-619-3377. 800-619-3377.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The right patio sets the scene. The right grill steals the show. For a limited time during July 4th, extra big deals at Lowe's. Get two 12-by-12-inch square patio stones for only $3. Plus, save $100 on a select Charbroil Performance Series 4-burner gas grill. Now just $179. All you need now is good company. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/6. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSHA.
He's known for the slow burn. He wanted to keep it organic, and I'm still begging for it. More controversy.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
I can't move on, baby doll. Waiting on calls, flipping through stations. I'm outclassed, it's outrageous.
Well, the scolds are out, Dan. You knew the scolds would be about. Brian just shows FIFA is corrupt, as advertised.
You're kidding. We've never known that before.
Mark, Jason, facts. The Dems don't want Trump to win anything.
That's probably true.
If Taylor Swift made the call to FIFA and got the player reinstated, she'd be lauded as a hero. I think that's true.
That's probably true.
I think that is true. Jason.
Notice that she didn't.
That we know of. So before the break, I said that there is a better way to do this, right? There could have been a better Trump move. And the better Trump move would have been to say nothing about it. And in fact, he did say nothing. He made this call, Wednesday or Thursday? And so he addressed it today because it was being reported. After they made the decision, then it was being reported, well, the president made a call. And then the president confirmed him. Now, if I were the president, I would have said, I talked to a lot of people. I'm a fan. Did I make a call? Did I not make a call? Does it really matter? They have a process. They did their thing. The taking credit for it, that I think is a little gross. That part of it is gross. Our president should worry about the wars he has us in and leave the refereeing to the referees. So I do understand, people have, if you hate Trump, you're going to hate this, right? And I think my feelings about the president and his morality and his ethics have been well chronicled on this show. But I don't care, man. So he used a little influence to try to help our team. So what?
Well, and I think,
why are we mad about that?
I think that's why he does stuff like this, right? I think that's why you have all of the concern about the building projects in DC and other things that really don't matter in the big picture.
Yeah.
Because he can actually get some stuff done, right? He can't, should he be worried about the war? Yeah, he should be worried about the war, right? Except Iran won't play ball. So he's sort of stuck and there isn't a whole lot he can do. But on this, yeah, he can call the FIFA guy that gave him the Peace Prize and say, hey, rattle some cages, get this thing turned around. And I think that's what leads. He wants to do stuff. He wants to, be able to point at things and say, look, I did that.
I did it. Yeah.
And,
I would
the big picture stuff that we really should be concerned about, he can't do that with.
Do I wish we had a president that wasn't as petty as this? Yes. Am I glad that if he's going to put his thumb on the scale, he's going to do it to help the American soccer team tonight? Yes. And to say now this is tainted. Give me a break. It was tainted when the red card was issued and it wasn't deserved. So when you're dealing with a subjective situation like that, think back to the NBA playoffs when Wemby it was Wemby, right, who got ejected.
Yeah.
And under normal circumstances would have been suspended, but because it was the playoffs and it was a big game, they didn't suspend him. And you know what? Great. Play the game. Now, what was my view in that moment? Probably it was very pro Timberwolves. Probably. What I'm saying is it is okay to just cheer for your team. It is okay to cheer for your team. You do not have to take this scenario, put it through the official political view filter and say, I hate Trump. He's scummy. He's sleazy. I'm going to cheer for the Waffles. What are we doing? Or the people who think the U.S. out of some sort of magnanimous move should sit this player?
Yeah, no.
No!
There are only two things I can't stand in this world. People who are intolerant of other people's cultures and Belgium.
Yeah. So, it's Folarin Balogun.
Flo Balogun, yeah.
And everyone calls him Flo.
Yeah.
And the president is such a fan, he could never channel his name during the conversation about
the name really isn't that important.
He is one of the best. He may be the best. One of the best.
Nor is it really important that the only reason this guy plays for the U.S. is because of birthright citizenship. We don't worry about that.
Jeff is in Sauk Rapids. Jeff, at least, look, I'm sort of a bottom line guy in this scenario. The bottom line is we got our guy back. I think it's fine.
Well, I'm not a soccer fan, so I really don't have a dog in this hunt. But I think the whole thing is stupid. What we need, this is what we need. World leaders calling FIFA with a gripe, and then all the while admitting they don't know a red card from a red ass. You kidding me?
It's pretty good. The fact that he didn't know what a red card was until somebody told him. I also think that's relatively relatable in the United States, where soccer is not our national sport, and also hilarious. It's also objectively hilarious.
I can't imagine how Putin would have said it. Yeah, come on.
FIFA is corrupt. Is it?
Of course it is.
Is it corrupt to have the president of the United States on behalf of the USA team make a call and say hey, this seemed like a raw deal. Can we appeal this? Is that corrupt?
No, it's not corrupt. But I think he had to just leave his phone alone. Just keep your hands off the damn thing.
Thanks, Jeff. Texters, do you cheat to get your kids into college too?
Yeah, Jason.
Is this cheating? Is it cheating? Making a call to argue on behalf of your country. Is this really as horrific as people are acting like it is?
As the president of the United States, the most powerful individual in the world, that's different than the Belgian premier or prime minister or whoever they've got in charge of their country calling FIFA. It just is.
Yeah.
Right? That those two calls are going to be taken in very, very different ways. So does it grant an unfair advantage, i.e. cheat? Probably.
I would say it does give us an advantage, but I would also say the rest of the world, you guys hate us because you ain't us. All right? You wish you had this power. Every other country, you think every other country in the world would not use this same effort to try to help their own team?
If they had the ability to, probably.
Yes.
But they don't, which is what makes it unfair. And it's why no other president would ever have done this.
It's an interesting question. Would another president have done this? Now, should the president have done this is a different question. That is not, I'm not arguing that I think he should have done this. I am arguing that I'm glad he did it. Is that
it's a heck of a hair to split.
Is that I just want, if there's going to be cheating, I want it to be on our behalf. And all these officials are from countries all over the world. You think they're not out to get America? I mean, I can spin this conspiracy stuff however you want. Like, and definitely the president talked about how this particular official, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, and the texter is with me on this. This isn't on Trump. It's on FIFA for reversing their decision. And so now FIFA has set the precedent, I think, that if you have a questionable red card, which a lot of red cards are questionable, comes down to a judgment. There's going to be a push to not suspend a player. I will say, I do think that this punishment is so intense. And when you think about most other sports, you don't have a corollary here where one play where you're automatically suspended for the next game. Now, in basketball, if you get like the double technical where you're ejected,
isn't it a
there's
certain
a
build-up?
process.
Yeah, a certain buildup of technical fouls.
Right, and there's a process for it. So, like, it is a weird deal. Texters, Jason, this whole conversation is gross. Trump should not have done this. You should not be celebrating it. The whole world cares a lot about this tournament, and it is now a mockery. You're laughing about this is so wrong, so gross. Another texter. Jason, it's not just Trump haters, it's soccer purists that have a problem with this. Okay, let me break that down, though. The Venn diagram of Trump haters and soccer purists, it's like 100% overlap, isn't it? Like, I've been to Minnesota Aurora FC matches. I've been to Minnesota United matches. It's
not a lot of MAGA hats at the Aurora game.
Not what I'm seeing. Texter says it's not cheating. A call was made. The refs made the decision. I think it's great that he did it. Another texter, Jason, if he plays and we win tonight in any game, going forward, we'll have an asterisk by it. You guys are so like, get the stick out from up your butt. Everybody is so, this is the World Cup, okay? This is not some sacrosanct competition where you would be furious if there were any sort of political intervention. This is not like the Nobel Peace Prize, okay? Wait. This is not like the Olympics where you see, it's just a game, guys. Like, it's going to be all right. We're going to cheer for America tonight. If you cheer for Belgium, deport yourself voluntarily. You are not American. Any American should be happy that we'll be at full strength tonight. We're going to break. In a minute, we're going to talk about a new effort to fight hunger and help some other nonprofits in the Twin Cities. It's going on this week, and there's a chance for you to get involved. We'll talk about that in just minutes here on CCO.
Drive Time with DeRUSHA on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Here's a World Soccer Championship preview.
Hi,
Brought
Pete.
to you by
Hey, guys.
Lowe's.
How are ya?
Members
Good.
get
You hear us
more at
okay?
Lowe's. And
Yeah.
by the first ever
Very good. We
Infinity
got you just fine. So we'll be with you here in just
After
about
surviving
3-4
a
minutes.
major scare against Cabo Verde, defending champion Argentina looks to steady itself against Egypt. It'll be a showdown of two of the world's biggest superstars, Argentina's Lionel Messi and Egypt's Mo Salah. Messi has scored in every game he's played so far in the tournament. I'm Mike Conti.
We're talking construction law today with Blake Nelson, an attorney from Helmuth & Johnson. Blake, why is having the right legal support so important?
One delay, one payment issue, or one contract mistake can put an entire project at risk and be the difference between making and losing money. In Minnesota, contract terms, timing, and documentation matter.
How does Helmuth & Johnson help?
We help contractors, subcontractors, and property owners protect their rights, get paid, and keep projects moving.
Learn more at hjlawfirm.com. Helmuth & Johnson, on your side, at your side, for all your construction law needs.
All right, it's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Summer is here and you need more room for your kids or grandkids and all their stuff. It's Jason DeRUSHA for Luther Kia of Bloomington. We're in the middle of the summer sticker sales event. 0% on all Sportages and Sorrentos. Specially marked vehicles have $750 bonus cash too. Best cars for the money on the market. It's not just me saying it. It's U.S. News and World Report. Check out their brand new facility. Luther Kia Bloomington, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Rush working south 169, Anderson Lakes Parkway. The activity off to the right side. Get ready to pack on 8 to 10 minutes extra on your right. Is coming down from 494. South 35W is jammed up. It's come down from 98th Street toward Cliff Road. 94 westbound jammed up through Hudson between Carmichael Road and the River Bridge. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Get your home into the comfort zone with Metro Heating and Cooling.
An air conditioner at Metro Heating and Cooling is, on average, only $5,400 installed. Find out more at metroheating.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Metro Heating and Cooling bringing us Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
The storms to the northwest should fizzle out by the time they get here. 71 the overnight low tonight. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, should hit 88. It will be humid again. We'll see showers and thunderstorms pop to the west, work their way across the state. Should see that overnight as well as during the day on Wednesday. 82 will be the high Wednesday. We dry out Thursday into the weekend. We could be back up in the 90s.
Right now in downtown St. Paul, it is cloudy out there. It's warm, 88 degrees on CCO.
The ride home deserves better conversation. Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, for years, one of the big fundraisers in the Twin Cities was a hunger relief fundraiser put on by Wayne Kostrowski called Taste of the Tour. And he did a taste of the like the Super Bowl, the NFL, all sorts of, I mean, for years, Wayne and his team has made such an incredible impact when it comes to fighting hunger in the Twin Cities. And this week, they're evolving the event into something bigger, something with more impact. Chefs, athletes, together to make a difference in our community. And Pete Kostrowski is with us via video link up, joining us at our YouTube and Facebook channel. Pete, I'm very excited for our listeners to learn more about plates and Playmakers. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's an exciting event coming up in a few days. We're looking forward to it.
Thursday is the night. Tell us what the vision is.
Well, as you mentioned, I'm proud son here. My dad, he's been a hunger advocate in town here for a long, long time. He started Taste of the NFL back when the Super Bowl was here in 1992. So I've been around hunger relief and trying to solve this problem for pretty much my whole life. And then him and I started Taste for the Tour 7 years ago. And then 3M Open came here into town. And it's been a great event, but it was always kind of capped at our size. There were about 225 people there. So this year we decided, let's try to do something a little bigger to help more families here in the Twin Cities. So we started an event called Plates and Playmakers. And it will take place this Thursday, July 9th at Quincy Hall. But our mission is always the same, raising dollars and awareness in the fight against hunger. In this case here, kind of highlighting the best that Minnesota has to offer. And with we got a pretty good lineup, to say the least.
You've got Andrew Zimmern and Gavin Kaysen, and really an amazing lineup of local chefs representing all kind of young, older. You've got the whole group there. I wonder if you would talk a little bit about what it's like to be the son, to be the next generation taking it has to be meaningful to be continuing the work, probably meaningful for your dad too, that you're continuing the work that he got started.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've got 4 daughters myself, so now 12 and under. So it's an interesting role to be now looking at my dad, who I've always been proud of what he's accomplished along the way. I think the coolest thing that he's really instilled in myself and my 2 sisters is this desire to give back to the community. And he's obviously done that with his actions, and we've been involved with these events for a long time and now kind of taking the lead on this one. One of the coolest things was one of my daughters goes, "I'm so excited, and I hope one day I get to do plates and playmakers with you too." So the idea of inspiring the next generation to give back for those who are going through a little rough time, that's pretty cool. And it was never part of, his laid out the plan. It's just something you're around and you just get inspired by because of all the great things that you're able to do for others.
Pete Kostrowski is with us. The event is called Plates and Playmakers. It is Thursday night. Now, you've got, a dozen chefs? How does the night sort of shake out for people?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. So the general plan of this is, it's what we like to say is kind of celebrate the best of Minnesota. So with our events, we always start with culinary. So we have 12 of the best chefs in the Twin Cities. Gavin Kaysen has just been a phenomenal partner, a friend of mine we put these on now for 7-8 years. And I always joke because he's the best person to have on our culinary team, because Gavin and I talk, and then he sends an email out to all the chefs, and then they respond within 30 seconds, versus if it was me, it might take 2 months of hounding them. It's really kind of you mentioned a few of them: Ann Kim, Danny Del Prado, Gavin, of course, Adam Ritter, Eric Pham. The list goes on and on. Of the quality of the culinary is incredible. And then the fun part is we also then fill the room of this year what we're calling Playmakers. And Playmakers is 2 different forms. We have a lot of the celebrities. So these are some of the biggest sports icons in Minnesota. Whether you're basketball, football, hockey fan, these are kind of the who's who of either current or former Minnesota connections. We've got a lot of the coaches there as well. PJ Fleck will be there, Nico Medved. And the idea is everyone comes together. You get to enjoy some company. You walk around, you try the food at all the different stations. And the best part is you're raising money for some incredible hunger relief organizations here in town.
Since you guys started back in 1992, more than 100 million meals raised through all of this money that you guys have raised. Who are the food banks that or the food shelves that you're helping out this year?
Yeah, we're excited. We have 3. In the past, when we did Taste of the Tour, we just pick one organization, and then it'd be all the proceeds go to them. In this case, we decided as this event gets bigger, and we'll have about 400 people in attendance that night. We have a handful of tickets left. I'm sure they're going to sell out in the next day or so. Because we went bigger, we also wanted to make the impact throughout the Twin Cities go a little wider. So we have the food group, who's headquartered in St. Paul. We have Every Meal, who does a great weekend after school program for kids, and they're based in Roseville area. And then we also have ICA, which is a food bank out in the Minnetonka area. So part of the idea was, as this got bigger, increased the number of chefs and celebs, we also wanted to have our impact be felt throughout the Twin Cities instead of just with one organization in town.
And you're also giving some money out of the connection you've had with the culinary world to that Salt Cure Restaurant Relief Fund as well.
Yeah,
right?
you nailed it. My dad was a restaurateur in town, and so I grew up in the restaurant business. I love food. I love cuisine. I decided to go a different route, though. I didn't have the passion to be a restaurateur, but I've always had this soft spot for the restaurant industry and the hospitality. So not only using this as an opportunity for us to appreciate all the incredible restaurants we have in town, but a portion will also go to the Salt Cure, as we all realize how important the culinary world is to the Twin Cities.
Pete, you didn't want to bring back Tejas? You didn't want to bring back Bar Abilene yourself?
It's been asked a lot. I worked at all those places. Thankfully for all the guests, I never made it on the cooking line, but I did pretty much everything else. And that was enough for me.
You thought you could find like less stressful ways to lose money than by opening a restaurant?
Yeah, funny how that works, right? I'll support them. I just don't want to be an operating them. That's for sure. I've worked at the State Fair for many years at the Tejas Express booth, so that was enough of the realization of I'm better attending than running these operations.
I think it's great. It's going to be at the Quincy Market right in Northeast Minneapolis. A great venue, beautiful room, but still a couple of tickets remaining. If you go to platesandplaymakers.com, you can buy an individual ticket. There will be a silent auction at that website as well that people can bid on, all sorts of great stuff. But really terrific. These sorts of events, I think people don't fully understand how much their local restaurant ends up donating to, whether it's, the local PTA or it's the softball team or it's to fight hunger. But I sometimes get nervous about where we'd be for charities and nonprofits if we didn't have all the things that the restaurants were sort of stepping up and donating.
I completely agree. And they're always the first ones to say, hey, can you help? And they're right there. First ones who want to do so. And they do so much for the community. So this is a little way for us to celebrate. I mean, if you look at this lineup, it's going to be the best food in the country under one roof that night. I can promise you that. It's just the quality is incredible. And I hope everybody listening and in town appreciate this level of culinary talent we have in the Twin Cities. And this is one fun way for people to try it out all in one stop if you're able to make it on Thursday.
Pretty cool. Pete Kostrowski, appreciate you. Thanks for doing this, and good luck on Thursday. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Pete Kostrowski with us on CCO. It is called Plates and Playmakers, platesandplaymakers.com. But pretty amazing lineup of chefs. I think in all, you look at all of these chefs, and you've got something like 7 James Beard recognitions from that group. So everybody kind of hanging out, doing their own station. Should be fun. In a minute, I want to talk about the 7 natural wonders of America. ABC as part of, I don't know if you guys watched any TV this weekend. Some of the coverage around America's 250 I thought was really cool. And one of the interesting things that ABC News did, along with National Geographic, is they named the 7 wonders of America. We know the 7 wonders of the world, but National Geographic, they said, all right, here are the 7 wonders of America. And some of these are obvious. I mean, if you think about it right now, what do you think would be one of the 7 wonders of America? I didn't know what they had all picked. But the Grand Canyon, you're like, yep, the Grand Canyon will be in there. Like, what else? Well, I got a little miffed that there was nothing from the upper Midwest. Nothing. Not the Great Lakes, not the giant ball of twine. So what I want your help with right now is, what is one of your wonders of Minnesota? What would be on the list if we had our own? I'll tell you what ABC recognized, and we'll get your feedback as well. 651-461-9226. The natural wonder of Minnesota. What's on your list when we come back?
This is Drive Time with DeRUSHA on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Big sale going on at J.H. & Sons right now. It's Jason here for J.H. & Sons at the Galleria in Edina. I am going to Mexico City in a little bit, and not in a little bit, in like 2 weeks. And when we go to Mexico City, I am going to be fully outfitted in J.H. & Sons clothing. Now, they're getting close to the time of the year where they clear out kind of seasonal suits, seasonal sportswear. But I went shopping there to find a bunch of clothes to wear to Mexico. I wanted easy. I wanted stuff that would be, in Mexico City, it's not super hot. It's like 77, 76 during the day. And then at night, it's like in the upper 60s. So I just said, here's where I'm going. Here's the weather. And they laid it out for me. It's pretty awesome. That is the kind of service you get at J.H. & Sons. You're going to get Bryce. You're going to get Chuck. You're going to get Alicia. You're going to get Dean. Jeff Halberstadt has put together a top-notch team of people who've been selling men's clothes in the Twin Cities, combined experience, more than 100 years of their team. They know what they're doing. They will take care of you, whether you're looking for a suit, whether you got a wedding to go to, whether it's back to the office for you, maybe in September. Get to JH and Sons. Sign up for their VIP email list at jhandsons.com.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need to get the job done. With fast delivery you can depend on and access to technical product experts ready to help you meet any challenge. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by.
When are you moving? Are you dreading your neighbors asking you that when they see a for sale sign in your yard? It's Vanita. Call my friends from the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty. The Good Neighbor agent can help you sell your home for full market value. John's vast network and database of buyers helps him sell houses quickly and for top dollar. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
A couple crashes out there to be aware of. One is 169 southbound at Anderson Lakes Parkway off to the right side with a jam up back at 494. Highway 13 eastbound at Quinton Avenue got an accident working there. Activity off to the right shoulder. One vehicle down into the embankment, and not sure if he struck the tree, but he came pretty close to it. Anyway, traffic was jammed up to make way through that stretch. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
For the best windows in the business that are made to order just for you, an array of styles, features that will fit your project and budget, only one way to go. My friends with Pella Windows and Doors, PellaNorthland.com. Tell me, heard this from Chad.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, forecast from Pella Windows Northland. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Rain and storms, northwest, low of 71. Tomorrow, rain and isolated storms late. Aren't you sick of this, like, little chance every day? Just kind of annoying, right? Tomorrow, 88 is the high. Wednesday, scattered showers, isolated thunder. Let me know if you've heard this song before. 82 is the high. It's going to be hot and humid into the weekend. Super hot. But right now, it's pretty hot and humid as it is. 87 and cloudy on CC.
Jason DeRUSHA.
You can't have people telling you 24/7 that you're great. You need people around you to say, hey, that's a bad idea.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
I would run through a fire just to be by your side. If your heart's on the line, you could take mine. It's crazy.
And I love this idea of recognizing the natural beauty in our country, and I want to do it in our state. National Geographic, along with ABC News, did these beautiful stories. And by the way, like Diane Sawyer, she did one of these stories. Diane Sawyer is 80 years old and looks amazing. So here were the 7. We had the Grand Canyon. We had the sequoias, like the coastal redwoods. We had Niagara Falls, the Appalachian Mountains, the Everglades, Yellowstone National Park, and also the Hawaiian volcanoes. So in Hawaii, they showed the beautiful volcano. So all these things, hard to argue, right? Is there something that was left out? I don't think so. But my question is, if we had the 7 wonders of Minnesota, what would it be? 651-461-9226. Let's go to Jonathan in Eden Prairie. Just trying to think, like, we need to fill out our own list, Jonathan. We were sort of, the Appalachian Mountains is sort of Midwest, but otherwise no Midwestern things on this list. What would you put as one of the wonders of Minnesota?
Well, I'll tell you, Jason, love your show.
Thank you.
Someone who is born and raised on the Canadian border, I have to say God's country, which is Rainy Lake, which is in the shadow of Voyageurs National Park and includes Voyageurs National Park.
Yeah.
And half of it is in Canada. That lake is like a northern Caribbean to me. It's islands, inlets, bays. I mean, it is just outdoors at its finest. And I talk to so many people, Jason, who live down here in the Twin Cities who never get up north to the Canadian border, and they are missing out on that wonder of Minnesota.
That's a great answer. It is stunning. It's beautiful. It's beautiful up there. It is like another country, isn't it? It feels so different, especially compared to like the topography of southern Minnesota.
It's a water. If you've ever spent any time up there, it is a water highway. You're on the boat and you run into people who, being born and raised up there. I'm just on the water all the time and I see people and all you do is wave and you go, oh, I know that person. So you go over, you sit in the middle of the water, you have a beer, and you go about your business the rest of the day. It is just, I just find it amazing.
Yeah. Jonathan, thank you. Very good answer. Very good. 651-461-9226.
I think there's two obvious ones.
Yep.
And it sort of plays into what Jonathan just said. First is just the North Shore is Lake Superior in total, right? The fact that we have the world's largest freshwater lake with enormous amounts of access to it from Minnesota is absolutely one of the wonders of the state. And then the Boundary Waters canoe area, right? I mean, that's as pristine of land as you can find anywhere in the country, much less anywhere in the state. So those are two obvious.
Do you have to pick like a specific spot on the North Shore, you think? Is it that sort of
I think
like the lighthouse iconic
No, I think
lookout,
the lake and everything that attends to it is the wonder. Because none of that stuff would exist without Lake
each
Superior
other.
right there.
Yeah. I think that's an excellent answer.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Lots of text coming in on this.
By the way, World Cup spoiler alert. World Cup spoiler alert. The Spanish have scored. It's 1-0 over Portugal. And we're in extra time. I'm sorry, stoppage time, not extra time.
Stoppage time?
Yes. So that very well
5
could hold
minutes to go. Maybe.
Yes, roughly, yes. You never can really tell.
Devil's Tower, says a texter.
Sure.
The Bluffs in Red Wing, all the way down to the southern border.
Caller who couldn't hang, by the way, suggested road construction on 94, which I thought probably pretty true.
Yeah. Lake Itasca, the beginning of the Mississippi River. I think the Mississippi has to be one of our natural wonders. It's our only national park here, which is a bit of a scam, don't you think? Did you know Lake? Is that wrong? Am I wrong?
I thought isn't Voyagers a national park?
Voyager, you're right. Voyagers is a national park.
So it's not our only one, is all.
Lake, but the Mississippi River is a national reserve. It's our only national reserve. It has to be natural, right?
It is, and I get it. I mean, given what the Mississippi is, its headwaters has meaning and importance. I just don't. I mean, is it?
Are you going to go see it?
I've seen it.
How is it?
It's fine. It's not. It's again. It's when you understand what the Mississippi becomes, it becomes impressive because this is where it starts. But just in and of itself, you wouldn't stumble upon it and go, "Oh, wow, look at that!"
Right. Yeah. Are we lacking? I mean, we have beautiful lakes. We have beautiful lakes.
Lots of them.
But when you think about like what is the natural wonder, there's a lot of like great amber waves of grain. You got your farmland. I mean, I feel like in Minnesota, if you were to do a 7 natural wonders, people would be inclined to just list 7 lakes. Right?
Understandable. Sure.
Because what else do you have? Really? The Gunflint Trail?
Some very beautiful bluffs in the state.
Yeah, but bluffs, it's sort of like the poor man's mountain, right? Like
When you don't have a mountain, you look for the bluffs.
We just, I mean, at a certain point, then you're like, well, there's this pretty cool hill in Woodbury that I really like. You're like, Afton Alps. Like, no, I don't think that's.
I mean, the sled hill in Theodore Wirth is pretty cool.
Yeah. Get you Gumi? Maybe.
That's Superior, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of the challenge. Maybe like my outrage over the fact that there was nothing in the Midwest, maybe it's because there is nothing in the Midwest. Is that possible? That we just have nothing to compete. That's why I was sort of like saying, do we like separate the lookout from the lake,
Right.
so we could have something
Maybe you need
that's
to do
like
that,
not
right?
a
Yeah.
lake, because otherwise it's just lakes.
Yeah.
Not just lakes. I'm not denigrating the lake.
Kind of sounds like you are. You're down on lakes. Jason DeRUSHA, lake hater.
I mean,
he hates dogs. He hates lakes.
Love America, though. Hate the Belgians. Next hour, top 3 things you hate about Belgium. That's where we're going to start. Continental Diamond Time at 3:58. That would be a funny segment. That's not where we're starting. But feel free to text him with those answers. You know what? Go get your loved one a beautiful Taylor Swift style diamond ring. Do it at continentaldiamond.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Party at your place this summer? Fix things up inside and out with July 4th deals, now at Lowe's. Get up to 45% off select major appliances and save up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Plus, save $80 on a select Charbroil Performance Series gas grill, now $299. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8. While supplies last, selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
What's news? What's noise? Discover the difference here. News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Another allegation against the Maine Democratic Senate candidate. ABC News has not independently verified the claim, which has been published online. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
The sexual assault allegation is made by a woman who dated Graham Plattner on and off for more than 2 years. She tells Politico in late 2021, Plattner entered her home while drunk and forced himself on her. While the Democrat challenging incumbent Senator Susan Collins says in a video message that the allegation is false.
Regardless of the inaccuracy of the reporting, but mindful of the political reality it will inflict, we are taking the time to reflect on the best path forward.
Under state law in Maine, Plattner has a week to decide whether to withdraw from the race in time for the party to put someone else's name on the November ballot. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
President Trump heads to a NATO summit in Turkey later today, where Ukraine President Zelensky is expected to ask alliance members for more interceptor missiles. Canada says it has selected Germany's ThyssenKrupp marine systems to build 12 submarines to boost defense spending to meet NATO targets. An oil glut could lower gasoline prices. The U.S. has been removing mines from the southern route of the Strait of Hormuz, with more tankers passing through, and that is expected to lower oil prices, gasoline prices, and diminish any leverage Iran has at talks with the U.S. That from ABC News contributor and former State Department official Steve Gagnier.
Frankly, President Trump can let this go on forever because people don't want to think about the nuclear problem. They're going to say, I don't want my total at the gas pump to be so high.
Saying FIFA's judicial bodies are independent and autonomous, the head of soccer's governing body in a statement essentially denying he had any influence over the decision to reverse a red card suspension so the top U.S. scorer can play in tonight's game against Belgium. President Trump phoned the head of soccer's governing body about it.
All I did was ask for a review. I didn't say you have to do this.
You're listening to ABC News.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Partly cloudy skies, 86 degrees at 4:02. Good afternoon. I'm Susie Jones. The hour's top story. We're hoping to learn more about a shooting in Brooklyn Park that left a 16-year-old dead.
Police in Brooklyn Park are looking for suspects after a shooting left a 16-year-old dead. It happened last night at about 11 o'clock at Hartkoff Park, which is near Park Center High School. Police arrived to find the teenager shot. They tried to save him, but he died at the park. Investigators are trying to figure out what led up to the shooting, with Hennepin County deputies helping in the investigation. Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830, WCCO.
Minneapolis police investigating a number of shootings this past weekend. One person was killed and 4 others were injured in all. Police say the shootings took place Saturday and Sunday, all of them in the northern part of the city. 2 of the shootings happened among large crowds, police say. One of them on the 300 block of Wilson Street. Emergency crews on the scene could not save the life of one man who was shot there. Police would not say if the crowd had any connection to the shooting. All of the other shooting victims, including a 17-year-old, are expected to recover. A deadly holiday weekend on Minnesota's waterways. 3 people drowned over the weekend. DNR water safety specialist Lisa Dugan says statistics show that men make up the vast majority of water fatalities, often due to a lack of life jacket use.
When we look at drowning incidents and boating fatalities, men are in that statistic more often than women, and not wearing life jackets. So many times we hear somebody, jumped off the boat to retrieve a hat that fell off, or whatever the reason might be, that, they jump into the water and just don't resurface.
She says to prevent further incidents, they are conducting increased safety and sobriety patrols on waterways all summer long. Hospice nurses are staging a one-day strike over stalled contract talks with Allina Health.
Many of the 60 union members walked the picket line in front of Abbott Northwestern Hospital. Negotiations have been going on for more than a year, and the union's Sam Larrick believes Allina needs a little bit of a push.
Well, we have a couple sticking points right now. We do have a mediator that's been helping us for the last 2 sessions, though.
At issue are wages and working conditions. Allina administrators say they are disappointed the hospice nurses chose to strike instead of continuing meaningful negotiations. In South Minneapolis, Al Schock, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Finally, a St. Paul native who played nearly a decade for the U.S. national soccer team says America's World Cup team is in a complicated situation. This after the World Cup organizers lifted the mandatory 1-game ban on Dan. I'm not going to spell Florian's
Balogun.
There
you go.
Following his ejection from the game last week. Tony Santa says the process that led to several reversals appears questionable.
You can appeal a case if you don't agree with it, and then it goes through a system and they make a judgment on it. But we chose not to appeal the case and accept the punishment. And unilaterally, they did their own research, and they may have been inclined to do so because of a phone call.
He says if Balogun plays tonight against Belgium and the U.S. wins, there will always be discussion about how the Americans received outside help to advance in the tournament. WCCO News Time is 4:05.
Flint Hills Resources Pine Bend Refinery in Rosemont produces important transportation fuels used throughout the Midwest, but they're also active in the community. They support many programs and organizations that make Minnesota better. Go to FHR.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And this traffic update is brought to you by Flint Hills Resources. Going to find that crash still working for Highway 13 eastbound near Quentin Avenue down in Savage. See, again, everything off to the right side. Traffic is just jammed. Doesn't make way through the area, but it looks like they're getting pretty close to getting things cleared out of the way for you. Traveling south 169, slowdowns continue there from 98th Street heading down toward Highway 13 and 35W northbound as you head toward Lexington. Looks like we may have an accident working there as you head to the north side of the metro. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you this time by Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader. Find them at Dickeys.com. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
We'll be mostly cloudy tonight. The thunderstorms up in northwestern Minnesota should be fizzling out by the time they get here. 71 the overnight low. Mostly cloudy tomorrow. We could see some showers and thunderstorms pop very late in the day. Should be up around 88 in the afternoon. It will be humid again. Wednesday, we'll see those scattered showers and perhaps a few isolated thunderstorms lingering throughout the day. Cooler because of that with a high of 82. We do dry out and it gets hot by this weekend.
All right now, partly cloudy, 86 degrees at News Talk 830 WCCO.
The stories we're following can follow you. Stay connected to the latest breaking news and impactful headlines on the Odyssey app and at WCCOradio.com. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRUSHA. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, here's Jason DeRUSHA.
All right, Belgium, you're on notice. In Spain, you're up next. I am directing the full weight of my pro-American views. What do you call it when you hate other countries?
Xenophobia?
Yeah, I'm all about it. All about it. Tonight, it's USA-Belgium. Texters coming through with some things to hate about Belgium. For the next hour, if you would like to text, I'm trying to assemble a list of things that we don't like about Belgium. And so far we have at 651-461-9226. Belgium, they speak French, they speak German. Pick a language already.
There are only two things I can't stand in this world. People who are intolerant of other people's cultures and Belgium.
Yeah. Another texter, their waffles have too many carbs. Yeah. Get with the protein generation, Belgium, okay? Minnesota pork, that's what we have here in this country. You got some lame waffle? Come on. Keep your Belgium hate coming, and hopefully we'll get a win tonight, and then we'll move on to negativity about the Spaniards, which that will be tough for me as a fan of Spain, the country. I've been to Spain and I've been to Portugal, so I both of those countries battling off. What could you do? All right. It's should we make Kate come up with her number one thing she hates about Belgium?
I'm sure she's got a list and she's compiling right now.
All right. Think about it, Kate, while we play this beautiful song.
Let's bounce some pop culture stories and issues through the lens of this Emmy Award-winning journalist turned media relations VP.
From TikTok, Italian runs, what's trending and more. She's got the scoop for Jason in the Rad Report.
Now on Drive Time with DeRUSHA, it's time for the Rad Report.
Kate Raddatz is the Vice President of Media Relations at McClung PR. She is with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Kate, where are you at on Belgium?
That's tough. I mean, they give us good waffles and chocolate, but I do respect that. But
that's not the not the energy I'm looking for.
Maybe we'll call them overrated waffles. Just for 90 minutes, maybe. We can do that.
And
sure.
Honestly, Belgian chocolate. Why is it Belgian?
Oh, I don't know, but I don't know. That's tough because it is. But again, for 90 minutes, overrated.
I don't even know. Like, I'm trying to think of the last time I've had Belgian chocolate. Like, I personally like to keep my chocolate purchases domestic. I'm trying to keep it here in the good old USA.
That's a good call. Yes. That's very supportive of you.
It's very good. A texter says I was against the Belgian call, but now I'm kind of for it. Am I waffling? Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
I love a dad joke. That's great. I love it.
That's pretty good. Kate Raddatz is with us. Have you gotten into the World Cup at all, or just? I mean, now
I'm not even going to pretend that I follow it closely. My husband is obsessed. Yeah. He's absolutely obsessed. So I'm not going to try to take credit for people who are really, really into it.
Well,
Yeah,
sure,
he's all
but
about it. So.
it's not a competition. You don't have to be the most into it.
Sure, I'm not an expert, but yes, it's super exciting. Yeah,
Is
super
he
exciting.
into
And honestly, I love. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was wondering if he's into soccer or if the fun of it is just like that you could cheer for America, sort of like when the Olympics come around, we get excited about cheering for America.
Definitely both, because he loves soccer. I go to their soccer games and am still learning what's happening in soccer. So, no, definitely both for him.
If you ever got in trouble with like an international authority, would you be bothered if the president of the United States made a call and just said like, hey, could you give Kate like another look? Could you give it another look?
I don't, being the rule follower that I am, I think that would give me an anxiety attack.
I mean, have you ever tried to get out of a speeding ticket? Have you ever gotten a ticket?
I've had one speeding ticket. I think I've had two. And it was right when I moved to the house where I'm now, and I was really upset about it because I didn't know the roads yet, and I didn't see a sign. So no, I think I did try to fight it, but that didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I have definitely tried to get out of a speeding ticket before. Maybe that's why, like, I look at the president calling the FIFA guy as like the same as like me, trying to get out of a speeding ticket. Similar vibe.
Is it the same?
Yeah, is
it the same level?
I will say Donald Trump.
What is your excuse when you get a speeding ticket?
Donald Trump
I feel like in news it happens a lot, but
Trump was more effective than I was. I'll say that much. My speeding ticket excuse was, and actually I was shocked when I was pulled over because I had the cruise control set at 65.
Okay.
But the speed limit had dropped to 55, and I didn't.
They got you.
They got me. I thought, yeah. And what was my defense? No defense, right? Other than just like, I was trying to go see my sister's kids, my nieces, competing in a gymnastics contest in New Ulm. So I was being a good, like,
that's a nice, yes.
I anchored the morning news, got in the car to drive to freaking New Ulm, and then I'm trying to do the right thing, and then I get a ticket.
And they gave it to you, and you didn't get out of it.
No, there was no empathy for my situation whatsoever.
So the lesson was don't go to the gymnastics.
Yeah, don't go. New Ulm, you're on. You're dead to me. New Ulm, you're on. No, I'm very pro New Ulm, but it did leave a bad taste in my mouth. You never forget.
Funny.
You never forget that spot because when you get pulled over, it's a little. I don't know. I think for most people, it's a little scary, right?
It's the worst. Again, being such a rule follower, and I was so upset at myself. Your insurance goes up.
Oh, yes.
I was so upset at myself. I can't remember how long before it dropped off, but when that dropped off, I'm like, I'm never getting another speeding ticket. So yes, it's an icky feeling for sure.
You were just on like a big road trip, right?
Yes, and guess how many times I've said to my husband, "Don't you dare speed." I'm not getting pulled over on this trip. So they fly in South Dakota. I think the speed limit is 80, I'm pretty sure.
It is. Yes, you can go real fast. So you took a road trip, and I think every Minnesota family, you should take that road trip out to the west or out to like the Dakotas or out to Montana or wherever. What were the highlights, favorite places you visited on this trip?
Oh man, I think the biggest surprise to me was the Custer State Park. That was the surprise because I knew I would be excited to see a national park. I knew I would be excited to go to the Badlands. I knew I would be excited to, I don't know, look for the wildlife and all of that. But Custer State Park and just the hikes they had and how family friendly they were, like my 3-year-old could do so many of them.
Cool.
It was so cool. And, I think when you're from the Midwest, when you go to places like that, or even Chicago, you think, oh, I know it already. Like I know it because I've been there and it's in the Midwest. And then I understand why it was cool playing the license plate game of seeing people from all over the country that were there. and seeing why you need more time than we had, because easily you could go further west. I mean, we didn't even do, I think it's Devil's Tower. We didn't even get to that. So yeah, and with how crazy expensive it is now to fly and everything, it's an awesome thing. I think every Minnesotan should do for sure.
Yeah, we did the Badlands. We did the Devil's Tower. We did the Mount Rushmore experience, and it was awesome. Like it does it's the kind of thing that when you fly to vacation, which I get, like the cost of flying is high, but the savings of being able to have more time to enjoy what you're doing is big. But those memories in the car with the kids, I kind of miss those days,
Yeah, and it is different. There's something different about being in your own car, and you said, like, you move at a different pace. I will say I learned, I mean, this was the longest road trip we've ever done. Way home feels a lot longer than the way there. The way there, you're like, this is so great. We're so excited. You're doing all the games. Way home, I was by hour 9, I was done. But other than that, it is very special. And I mean, I still remember being 7, 8 years old, going on road trips. We didn't fly anywhere when I was that age. And so I have all these memories of driving everywhere, and I loved it.
Yeah,
so
absolutely the same. We did not fly anywhere, no doubt about it. Let's break in a minute. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce did, in fact, get married this weekend. Was Kate on the guest list? And your go-to fast food. 2 topics we'll mix up with Kate Raddatz when we come back here on
Drive Time with DeRUSHA is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
You know that feeling when your body is tired, but your brain just won't shut off? We've all been there. Jordana here. That's where CBN comes in. CBN, short for cannabinol, is a naturally occurring hemp cannabinoid known for its relaxing, sleepy effects. Think of it like the lights dimming signal for your brain. While CBD helps you stay calm, CBN helps your body know it's time to rest. That's why we call it CB Night Night. Mini Leaf Night and Night Plus Sleep Gummies combine CBN, CBD, and CBG to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer, and then wake up feeling refreshed. Go to minileaf.com, MINNELEAF.com, minileaf.com, the home of Minnesota's best legal products. And tell them Jordana sent you.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please, don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. and happy 50th.
Summer is here and you need more room for your kids or grandkids and all their stuff. It's Jason DeRUSHA for Luther Kia of Bloomington. We're in the middle of the summer sticker sales event. 0% on all Sportages and Sorrentos. Specially marked vehicles have $750 bonus cash too. Best cars for the money on the market. It's not just me saying it. It's U.S. News and World Report. Check out their brand new facility. Luther Kia of Bloomington now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
I feel like you're wasting my time talking about something that I wasn't a part of. Like the most intellectually bankrupt. This is just terrible.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you something. I think you'll understand when I say that something. I wanna hold your hand.
Paul McCartney performed I Want to Hold Your Hand for the first time in 60 years at the Taylor Swift wedding. Would have been cool to be at. Kate Raddatz, you couldn't make it, or you weren't on the guest list?
Very sad because it feels like everyone was on the guest list. So unfortunately was not there.
1,000 people invited. I am sort of loving the stories sort of coming out now about the people who were snubbed, which it is a little worse when 1,000 people get invited to something and then you thought you were friends with Travis Kelce and then you're out and you see you're like Dean Blandino, the NFL rules analyst for Fox broadcast. He was on the guest list.
Yeah. You're like, how do you know?
You're like, did we need a replay analyst at the wedding? I don't know. It was a funny sort of crossover of the pop culture, the Hollywood celebrity, and the sports star world at this thing.
The whole thing is still surprising to me. I'm still again.
Did you think that they weren't actually going to get married? Did you think the relationship was like a publicity stunt?
Oh no, not that at all. I thought that the whole actual wedding, saying it was in New York City and all this, I thought it was all just, that they were actually getting married somewhere. It was a distraction. They were actually getting married in a small, because obviously they could afford to do that if they wanted to, but it's just shocking to me. She had this giant wedding, this woman who was saying about, I don't know, very romantic, and I'm sure it was romantic and very lovely. Although I have seen today the detail coming out that their vows were each 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
And that alone makes me glad I was not invited.
Do you think if you're the guest, are you sitting there, you're like, all right, enough, 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
I don't know. Do you have 20, before you were married, did you have 20 minutes of material a piece to say about your husband?
Probably not. No, I don't think our ceremony was 20 minutes.
I mean, mine was a Catholic mass, so it was still an hour. But
yours was, yes.
But
yes.
the vows were, and I think we just did the corporate issued, church ratified vows. I don't recall customizing them at all. People do that now. That wasn't very common back when I got married.
Sure.
And the Catholics, you're just supposed to do the bit. That's sort of how we do it in the Catholic Church,
That makes sense.
I think it's fun. I enjoyed all the stuff. I know people were like, it's just who cares? But I think the fact that when this relationship first started, there was question as to is this just a bit,
Right.
I think I don't know, and you're closer to the age of the Taylor Swift era, but there's something sweet about the fact that she found love. I think she went on this journey around the same age of, now it's people who are in their late 30s through their 40s. Mm-hmm. But she was on this love journey that you're we all wanted her to find it. And I think it's sweet. I think it's nice.
I think it's great. As someone who up until a year ago really wasn't a Taylor Swift fan, not because I didn't like her, I just couldn't really, I didn't maybe identify with a lot of her music or whatever it was. I mean, I just don't think anyone can argue she hasn't been anything but a pretty great. I think she's been a great role model for comparatively to other pop stars out there. And I mean, you want to root for her. She gives a lot to charity. So, I mean, obviously she's very wealthy, but she gives a lot too. And so I love it. I'm like, of course there's more important news in the world.
Of course.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
But I love seeing something fun, and I would not be surprised in the least if we're going to get a wedding special.
Oh, right.
out
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's a little curious that she hasn't released a single photo yet. You're like, come on.
Right. Of course,
I mean,
I
I
want to
get
see
it.
the dress, and
You're
you know,
very in
all that.
love. You're very in love, but like take a break from your post-marital. We know what you're doing. Like you could post a picture, let's see the dress.
Right. I'm going to guess we're going to get a special. It's going to be somewhere. We're going to get a special we have to pay for.
Probably true.
So, yeah.
Dan sent us this story about Burger King trying to make a comeback. And Burger King's always been around, but it's been sort of, I don't know, when you think of fast food restaurants that are on the up, it's always like Chick-fil-A or,
sure.
I don't know. What are the hot restaurants?
Culver's.
Culver's is sort of having a pop culture moment.
Cane's, I would say.
Yep.
Cane's, all the chicken finger.
Cane's,
yeah,
for sure.
Cane's
Yes.
is so hot.
Yep.
What, do you have a go-to fast food? I don't know if Burger King really can come back. You see new things emerge. Do places that die come back? I don't know, but do you?
I have no problem with Burger King. Burger King is fine to me, but I'm sad that it's gone out of style apparently with the kids. But
I've always liked the Whopper. I'm pro Whopper, like a little flame broil, but I can't think of the last time I've been to Burger King.
I think because there's one near downtown, it's in a dead zone. And so many times working in news, we would definitely go to that Burger King.
Yeah.
So other than that, favorite fast food is definitely Arby's, 100%.
Arby's, yes.
Arby's, yes.
So
That's my
last
favorite.
night I was at dinner. A friend of mine threw this America dinner. So all the wines were American made wine. All of the food was like, we had a hamburger and we had steak and we had, it was all that. We had nachos, think of the American type food.
That sounds great.
It was so good. But one of the guests was a fairly prominent local chef and her husband. And she had said she had never been to Arby's. And so my friend immediately DoorDashed an Arby's roast beef sandwich and a large curly fries with the horsey sauce and the Arby's sauce.
Yes, you have to do the horsey sauce. Yes.
Alyssa was saying, she's like, I like to mix it, like a little horsey, a little Arby. And it was very funny. Arby's was always the DeRUSHA go-to on a road trip too, because it felt like it was just a roast beef sandwich, right? Like there's nothing gross about it. It's just roast beef. It was simple and less like fried kind of stuff. I don't know. That's always been the go-to.
Yeah, I've never thought about it that way, but I guess you're right. Yeah.
My kids like McDonald's. They're McDonald's fans. And I like McDonald's too. I especially like the breakfast, like the biscuit, the sausage egg biscuit is my favorite breakfast fast food. Not even
I do not understand the McDonald's breakfast obsession. That would be Taco Bell for me. A Taco Bell breakfast.
They have breakfast at Taco Bell?
Oh my goodness.
I've never.
The breakfast crunch wrap, I'm pretty sure that I ate that every week when I was pregnant.
Really? I didn't even know. I never even thought about Taco Bell for breakfast.
Oh, the breakfast crunch wrap. If you have not had it, you need to now. And get the hot sauce with it.
Tomorrow morning. I'm going to Taco Bell. Oh, very good. Kate, this was terrific. Thanks for being here and screw Belgium tonight.
Anytime. Go USA.
Thank you. There goes Kate Raddatz. Texts are still coming in on why people hate Belgium. So you can keep those texts coming. One texter says Belgium has very high taxes. Yeah, take that, Belgium. Whatever. Like we're trying to come up with reasons to hate them for the USA World Cup match tonight. Drive Time's going to break in just a minute. 10 years ago was a traffic stop that has changed the way police do their jobs in Minnesota. It was a traffic stop that led to the death of Philando Castile. There were a number of errors made that day, and because of it, there's something that police are not doing anymore that I think has turned out great. It really has. We're going to talk about the one thing that police no longer do, or at least they very rarely do it, in the aftermath of Philando Castile. That when we come back on Drive Time.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSHA on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, there are certain sounds that every homeowner knows. You know these sounds. The hum of a breaker that keeps tripping, maybe the gurgle of that drain that should not be gurgling, that drip, drip, drip under the sink, or maybe the water heater that no longer, you don't hear that fan anymore. It's not doing its job. And immediately you think, oh no, is the exact moment to call Randy's Electric and Plumbing. It's Jason. So glad to be telling the story of Randy's Electric. They are your solution to those oh no moments for more than 20 years. Randy's has helped Twin Cities homeowners handle those stressful moments, from electrical repairs, panel upgrades, rewiring, plumbing repairs, sewer and drain service, sump pump. You name it, they got you covered. Maybe you bought an EV. They've got EV charger installation that they'll do too. Randy's licensed pros show up. They're prepared. They're going to explain your options clearly, and they're going to give you honest pricing before the work begins. No surprises with Randy's Electric and Plumbing, and they'll do same-day repairs. They'll give you a 2-hour arrival window, and you'll get text alerts as the technician is on the way. So you know that help is coming. So when you have that, oh no, don't panic. Call Randy's. Go to callrandys.com or make the phone call to Randy's Electric and Plumbing.
Ah, the soundtrack of summer in Minnesota. The soundtrack of summer in Minnesota has to include the sound of Minnesota, as heard every day on your Minnesota original. News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, it's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Hey, you! Yeah, I'm talking to you! We got a show and it's Guys and Dolls at Chanhassen and Dinner Theaters. It's terrific and delicious because you got dinner and a show. Don't take my word, everybody's loving it. The Pioneer Press called it a must-see. Star Tribune called it eye-popping and blazing with brilliance. I heard a lady from Eden Prairie say this is the best show she's ever seen at the Chan. Grab your doll or your guy. Get your family over here for Guys and Dolls. Visit ChanhassenDT.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Crush working 94 eastbound as you head toward Weaver Lake Road. Activity off to both sides of the highway. Patrols with the vehicles on the right shoulder. Traffic is jammed in the area westbound, especially as you come in from as far back as 169. If you're going to be traveling north 169, not too bad of a ride there. 394. You head up to 94 westbound through Minneapolis. That slows as you move between Cedar Avenue and the Lower Hill Tunnel. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
B&M Tree Services, certified arborists offering tree trimming, storm cleanup, and full tree removal with professional service at prices you can afford. Call 1-800-569-9034 or visit bnmtree.com. Trusted, professional, reliable.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
B&M Tree Service, nice enough to bring us the weather forecast, and we get that from Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
The storms to the northwest should fizzle out by the time they get here. 71 the overnight low tonight. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, should hit 88. It will be humid again. We'll see showers and thunderstorms pop to the west, work their way across the state. Should see that overnight as well as during the day on Wednesday. 82 will be the high Wednesday. We dry out Thursday into the weekend. We could be back up in the 90s.
It's almost 90 right now. 89 degrees, very cloudy out there. But boy, is it sticky on CCO.
Steering you through what matters. Drive Time with DeRUSHA. Tuned up and rolling thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
Tell me what's my flavor. I don't believe in God, but I believe that you're
10 years ago, Philando Castile was pulled over because his tail light was broken. Odds are pretty good today that that wouldn't happen. Both Ramsey and Hennepin counties have moved away from pulling people over for equipment violations. And while I think we've made a major error in the post-COVID time in reducing the amount of traffic enforcement we do, because I think there are so many reckless and dangerous drivers out there, I am so glad that we almost never pull people over for having a broken taillight or for having the air freshener around their rear view mirror. This was almost entirely about pulling people over, hoping to find something else. It was a procedural fishing expedition. And I think we're safer because of it. I really do. I'm glad that we're not pulling people over for these things. 651-461-9226. I wonder what you think. Pioneer Press did an analysis of traffic stops in Ramsey County and in St. Paul. And what they found is that equipment violations in 2019, St. Paul police pulled over 6,200 people for it. In 2020, they pulled over 5,200. And then they changed the policy in September 2021 and said, we're not pulling over for this stuff anymore. And so in 2022, only 400 people were pulled over. And that number has stayed pretty similar over these last couple years. Now, at that low point in 2022, St. Paul was pulling over 11,000 people for moving violations. But over those next couple years, that has grown to be 25,000 people. So is that because there are more people driving like lunatics, or is that because police have more time to worry about things that actually matter? That's what I think. Pulling people over for expired license tabs, for a broken taillight, for a loud muffler, for a cracked windshield, for windows that are tinted, 2 lights, for one headlight that's not working, or one brake light that's not working. Now, they are sending a letter to the vehicle's registered owner to let them know, hey, we spotted this. Can you fix it? It's not a citation. It's more like, hey, you can't drive around with one headlight out.
What we used to call a fix-it ticket, right?
A fix-it ticket. And so now they do this instead of pulling someone over. If police were pulling over, well, take St. Paul, for example. In the city of St. Paul, the population is about 15% black. So if you looked at equipment violation calls, pullovers, and you said, well, they're pulling, 15 to 25% of the people pulled over were black, I think you could say they're just, they're pulling over people who have equipment violations. But statistically, the percentage of black drivers that were being pulled over in St. Paul was in the kind of 35 to 40% range. It just is very unlikely that race did not enter into the equation. It just is. Now, does this fix everything? Of course not. And part of law enforcement also is always going to be you're pulling over situationally. So just because the population is 15% doesn't mean that that number should be 15%. And even when I say 25, maybe it should be 30. I don't know. It has to do with where the crime hotspots, who is out driving a car that has, equipment violations. But there's been enough academic research on the broken taillight theory of policing. For me, it's pretty convincing. And I don't know that it was intentional, but I think there was bias in that process. The question was 10 years ago, if you stop this, are we going to be less safe? Are there, the argument from law enforcement at the time, Dan, was like, well, the reason we do these pullovers is because we're going to capture illegal guns. Or you're going to catch somebody who's a wanted murderer or whatever.
Or, even lesser than that. Like, I got stopped one time in downtown Minneapolis because I had just literally minutes before backed up my car into a post and broke a taillight. And minutes later, I'm pulled over. And the cop flat out told me, we make stops like this because a lot of times people that are driving around with broken taillights don't have current insurance. And so if we can stop, uninsured drivers from being out there and getting into wrecks with other people, that's a good thing. So there was always a pretext to it.
It's a pretext. And the truth is, people are doing plenty of illegal things on the road. We don't need these things to be the pretext. You could be pulled over for speeding. You can be pulled over for running a red light. You could be pulled over for running a stop sign. All of those things are valid reasons to be pulled over. I think eliminating this, what we found, it is not reduced the number of guns confiscated. In fact, the opposite. St. Paul they've been removing more guns. And so I don't see the downside to this. Now, politically, when Hennepin County announced that they were no longer going to do these kind of pretext pullovers, and that was a little later, Hennepin County, I believe, announced this shift last year. So it really, Ramsey County, because it was in St. Anthony, because it was it was Falcon Heights, but it was a St. Anthony police officer that was covering Falcon Heights. Because it was a Ramsey County incident, perhaps John Choi, the county attorney there, felt more urgency to act quicker. But I think it's been a good policy. I really do. There is enough crime out there to go get people. Texters at 651-461-9226. Jason, I'm glad people get pulled over. I was pulled over because my taillights were out. And I had no clue. I could have endangered a lot of people with that at night. I certainly don't want the police going on fishing expeditions, but pulling people over for problems that need to be fixed is just part of good safety. So I think that's true. So like I was pulled over in Maple Grove for expired license tabs. And if you're in a suburb where you have time to pull people over for that sort of stuff, I guess it's all right. I don't know. What was solved by the pullover that wouldn't have been solved by sending a letter? And by sending a letter, you take out the chance that something's going to be escalated. And you can't remove all of those circumstances, right? You still have to pull people over for unsafe driving. But to me, the letter accomplishes the same thing. It just does. You don't need, and not only am I thinking about the safety of you, the citizen who's being pulled over. And obviously on this date, you think about Diamond Reynolds, right? Who was Philando Castile's girlfriend and the daughter. All of them were in the car at the time, and she was live streaming it on Facebook, which at that time was crazy. Like no one was live streaming 10 years ago. But I also think about the safety of law enforcement, where you end up in a scenario where it's like, was it worth it to pull somebody over because they had a busted out taillight? Jason, you're missing the number one cause for those pullovers, and that's drunk drivers. It's a big difference whether they pull them over on Monday afternoon or 2 p.m. or Friday night at 1 a.m. That can be a valid reason for me to have someone pulled over for a fix-it violation. So The drunk driving case is interesting. I suppose I would prefer we go back to like the drunk driving blockades, right? Remember those days where they'd have just like a safety check? And I think the courts have ruled that those are not constitutional, at least not in Minnesota. But I think pulling people over for a pretext, hoping you're going to catch a drunk or like hanging out outside a bar, I don't know. To me, like that's not it. It's not the kind of policing I want to see. I think this change makes communities trust the police better and trust them more because you take out one more example where people can say you're targeting us unfairly. So I think it's good. Let's break. A lot of people disagree in the text. They like the pretext pullovers. That's a position that's very safe to have when you don't do anything wrong, right? Like that's not what we're worried about. We're not worried about the people who are doing nothing wrong. Let's break. You can weigh in on this. More text on this coming in. Why not? We'll stick with it. 651-461-9226. Drive time back in a minute.
Drive time with DeRUSHA. Tuned up and rolling. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
Congratulations to my friends at Livia. They did it again 6 years in a row. Livia gets the gold for best weight loss center in Minnesota. It's Jason for the team at Livia that helped me lose 45 pounds and keep that weight off for 4 years. I joined Livia in the summer, and my motivation, yes, I wanted to lose weight, but my motivation was bigger than that. And today, Livia has evolved big time into so many areas that really tap into what originally made me want to lose weight. I wanted more energy. I wanted to sleep better. I wanted to feel my best. I wanted to be around for my kids and hopefully someday grandkids. Maybe you are curious about medical weight management or GLP-1 support or hormone health and keeping that in balance or any number of other wellness services to help you simply feel your best. Get to Livia.com today because Livia has so much to offer. It is all about helping you achieve the best version of yourself that is possible. I did not know that Livia offered all of this stuff. And if you go to the website, you're going to be surprised and impressed, I think, at the evolution of Livia. Weight loss, yes, but making you feel your best. That's what Livia is all about. Livia, LIVEA.com.
Get your home into the comfort zone with Metro Heating and Cooling.
The warm days of summer have arrived. You're going to want to have an AC in your house. Call Metro Heating and Cooling. We'll be happy to help you choose the AC system that's right for your home and wallet. Get a free estimate at metroheating.com. Metro Heating and Cooling of Maplewood.
Get your home into the comfort zone with Metro Heating and Cooling.
metroheating.com.
I'm here with Alec Sherrod, a top mergers and acquisitions attorney with Helmuth & Johnson. Alec, Minnesota laws can be complex. How do you make sure you're on the right path?
At Helmuth & Johnson, we help businesses and individuals navigate Minnesota's laws with clarity and confidence. We understand how Minnesota's laws and courts work, and we guide you every step of the way.
So it's not just knowing the law, it's knowing Minnesota.
Exactly. Practical advice, local experience, real solutions.
If you're looking to buy or sell a business, go to hjlawfirm.com. Helmuth & Johnson, on your side, at your side.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual.
You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Rush working for East 94 as make way toward Weaver Lake Road. Expect your slowdowns there. Also slowdowns on 94 westbound as you come away from 169. East 94 slows Riverside, heading over to Highway 280, and then again as move between Lexington and Highway 52. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, it's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast tonight, chance of rain and storms, but that is to the northwest of the metro area. The low will be 71. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, rain and storms are the forecast again. It's every day. It's kind of annoying, isn't it? You sort of think you're like, it's not really going to rain. And then sure enough, you're like, oh, here it comes. Wednesday, also scattered showers, high of 82. Right now, it is hot, 89 and cloudy on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSHA.
The words they used were confusing, intimidating, overwhelming, taking over the world.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Would a boy like you, like a girl like
Thanks to Staples for bringing us the weather forecast. How about a Continental Diamond time check? It is 4:54 right now. Continental Diamond, they're locally owned. They are award-winning. Just great people. The Continental Diamond family. Go check out their incredible engagement ring selection. Maybe you got a luxury timepiece that you're looking for. That's what I go there for. Amazing pre-owned selection. You can see all of it at the website, continentaldiamond.com. Lots of text coming in about this equipment pullover issue. I get it, why people feel like, if it's a safety issue. If you have one taillight out or one headlight out, you should be pulled over. But the truth is, like, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth endangering the officer? I don't think it is. I think you can send that letter out. Now, a texter says, so you are a proponent of camera surveillance of everybody driving around? AI can tell if you've got equipment violations or your tabs are expired or you may not be wearing a seatbelt. Well, that's not really what we're talking about. We're talking about an officer observing this. It is an interesting question, though, when you think about like the future of safe policing. How much are we willing to use technology to do this better? I don't know. I am uncomfortable with all of the surveillance that we have going on in the world. And also, like, I acknowledge the fact that if you in Minneapolis only have, what do we have now? 600 officers full-time on the force. That if we can use cameras and surveillance to catch people, I guess I would prefer we deploy these things for people doing more dangerous stuff. So if you're running a red light, I would like you to get a ticket. If you're, going more than 10 miles over the speed limit, I'm more open to that. Do I want to use surveillance type technology to bust you for expired tabs? I'm not really that interested in that. I don't know. I guess what's the logic? What's my logic behind that? I don't know. But to me, I'm more concerned about safety. Let's go after the things that are really making people unsafe. To me, that makes more sense. Texter says, I've seen squad cars and squad SUVs with taillights out. So they only pull people over if you have both lights out. One other update that I wanted to share with you. Well, actually, we only have 30 seconds. So, Dan, I'm not going to share that update. How about that? I know. Too much show. Sometimes there's just too much show. What can we do? In a minute, we're going to give you ABC News. I want to talk about the suburbs trying to get you to come hang out on a Tuesday. Why are we so obsessed with, like, visitors to our cities? I don't know. It's a little goofy. We're going to talk about that after ABC.
Hey, it's Benita. We all know how great the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty is. Moni, how did you get started working with the Schuster Group?
It started off with my husband driving to work one morning, listening to WCCO, and a commercial for the John Schuster Group came on. My main contact was Tim Sabin. They posted the listing. By the end of that day, we already had over 600 views. It was crazy. There was one offer that by far stood out way above the rest, over 10% over asking. And they had cash in bank.
If someone is on the fence about hiring the Schuster Group, what would you tell them?
To see it just blow up like that and move so fast and to get so much more over asking, it couldn't have been a more exciting and fun time. Selling that house for 20 years, one of the hardest decisions I had to make in my life. Choosing John Schuster Group, easiest decision I ever made in my life.
952-222-9000 online, johnschustergroup.com.
Curtis James of Bear Market Financial Services.
When we get to retirement, the last thing that we want to do is sacrifice the quality of our retirement because things far outside of our control. The intention behind the financial planning really starts to build this out, to map out these crucial elements of what should be inside of a plan for retirement.
Making retirement easier on Retirement Simplified with Curtis James, Sunday evenings at 6 on WCCO.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi? For what?
Better not to know.
Get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in your price for 5 years and see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Real conversations, relevant information. News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Another allegation against the Maine Democratic Senate candidate. ABC News has not independently verified the claim, which has been published online. A former girlfriend tells Politico in late 2021, Graham Plattner entered her home while drunk and forced himself on her. In a video message, Plattner calls the allegation false and adds,
regardless of the inaccuracy of the reporting, but mindful of the political reality it will inflict. We are taking the time to reflect on the best path forward.
The Democrat challenging incumbent Senator Susan Collins under state law in Maine has a week to decide whether to withdraw from the race in time for the party to put someone else's name on the November ballot.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. Two fellow Democrats, California Congressman Ro Khanna and Arizona Senator Ruben Gallego, today yanked their endorsements of Plattner after the Politico report came out. Khanna also urges Plattner to drop out of the race, calling the allegations very serious and credible. Plattner's opponent, Republican Collins, says these allegations are appalling. Nevertheless, it's not up to me to choose the Democratic nominee for Senate. President Trump heads to a NATO summit in Turkey later today, where Ukraine President Zelensky is expected as well. ABC's Britt Clement.
Diplomats among NATO nations, they say that leaders, they are weighing fresh pledges of these, advanced air defense systems and a multi-year support framework. But, some allies have been slow to follow through and deliver on those earlier promises. So there's real uncertainty about how far they'll go this time.
The U.S. has been removing mines from the southern route of the Strait of Hormuz, with more tankers passing through, says ABC News contributor and former State Department official Steve Ganyard.
We could get down into the 60s on a barrel of oil because of this glut. So the Iranian ability to influence this negotiation is going to decrease. We'll see if that makes a difference at the negotiation table.
You're listening to ABC News.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
A few clouds, 87 degrees at 5:02. I'm Susie Jones. This hour's top story, the Minnesota DNR urging people to be careful after a deadly weekend on the waterways.
After 3 men lost their lives in drowning incidents in Bemidji, St. Croix Beach, and Chanhassen over the holiday weekend, state safety coordinators say that nearly 90% of drowning fatalities involve victims who were not wearing a life jacket and often impact men more than women. Recreation Safety Outreach Coordinator Lisa Dugan says they're trying to educate children early about safety out on the water.
We talked to a lot of kids and school groups about safety on the water, and hopefully with that younger generation, they're going home, putting on their life jackets and also sharing that message with their parents so that they can set the good example.
She says in response to the deadly weekend, the DNR and other local authorities are preparing to deploy stepped-up patrols across the state's shared waterways. Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Police in Brooklyn Park are looking for suspects after a shooting left a 16-year-old dead. It happened last night about 11 o'clock in Hartkoff Park, which is near Park Center High School. Police arrived to find the teenager shot there. They tried to save him, but he did die at the scene. No arrests have been made, and we do not have an ID of the victim yet. Dozens of Alina hospice workers staging a one-day strike with the hopes of restarting contract negotiations. Talks have been going on for more than a year, and the union, Sam Lyric, says the work environment needs to change.
The main issues are that our caseloads are pretty high right now, so there's a lot of patients that a nurse may have to see. Sometimes instead of doing like 4 or 5 visits a day, we're expected to do like 6 or 7 visits a day because of staffing.
Alina administrators say they're disappointed with the strike, suggesting the union members continue meaningful negotiations. It was 10 years ago today when Philando Castile was shot and killed by a police officer during a traffic stop in Falcon Heights.
The shooting was live streamed on social media from inside Castile's car, and it sparked violent protests for several days throughout the Twin Cities. Officer Geronimo Yanez was cleared of any wrongdoing by a Ramsey County jury, but was fired from his job with the city of St. Anthony. The site of the shooting has been converted into the Philando Castile Peace Garden. A candlelight vigil takes place there tonight. St. Paul City Council declared today Restoration Day to remember Castile. They also declared tomorrow Unity Day with a community barbecue scheduled for outside City Hall. Al Schock, News Talk 830 WCCO.
WCCO News Time is 5:05.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And brought to you by Laguna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. West 94 remains jammed as you make your way through Hudson. Coming in from Carmichael Road. If you'll be traveling Highway 100, get ready for some slowing. As you make your way past 394. 394 eastbound jammed up. You move in from Penn Avenue to downtown. Laguna, Minnesota, remind you to slow down when you see orange cones and yellow vests all year round. They're working to improve your infrastructure and build a better Minnesota for you. So please slow down, save lives, and keep construction workers safe. Brought to you by Laguna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Get your home into the comfort zone with Metro Heating and Cooling.
Call Metro Heating and Cooling for a $109 air conditioner tune-up. Find out more at metroheating.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Metro Heating and Cooling. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
We'll be mostly cloudy tonight. The thunderstorms up in northwestern Minnesota should be fizzling out by the time they get here. 71 the overnight low. Mostly cloudy tomorrow. We could see some showers and thunderstorms pop very late in the day. Should be up around 88 in the afternoon. It will be humid again. Wednesday, we'll see those scattered showers and perhaps a few isolated thunderstorms lingering throughout the day. Cooler because of that with a high of 82. We do dry out and it gets hot by this weekend.
Right now, then, a few clouds and 87 degrees at News Talk 830 WCCO.
The biggest news stories of the day are just a tap away. Tap that app. The Odyssey app for News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRUSHA, fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Once again, here's Jason DeRUSHA.
Does every city in our area need tourists, need visitors all the time? I think we've gotten carried away a little bit with this idea that we all need these visitors. Some of you just stay out of these cities. You don't need the visitors. Everybody's not a tourist destination. It's Jason. Welcome to Drive Time. There's certain cities in this community that are fun to go to on the weekend, right? Excelsior. Where do you like to go when you think of Minnesota cities where you want to go for like a day trip? 651-461-9226. Tell me your favorites. Like, I love Stillwater. Love to go to Stillwater. Excelsior, very good. Wayzata. All these cities want you to come there on a Tuesday. And I am sick of being expected to have to go to all of these cities. Some of you are for the weekend. It's all right. Isn't that enough? Turns out it's not. Some of this, I think, is a logical result of what has happened in the move away from our cities. I actually think researchers are going to study this someday. But the fact that we went from everybody coming downtown to work, not everybody, but every white collar worker coming downtown to work, the fact that we just like flipped a light switch and went to remote or hybrid work has been the most disruptive change to our state. Probably, I mean, is it over dramatic to say since the interstate highway? I don't think it's that dramatic. The disruption has been intense. It's just so different now, right? And even when you come to work, if you come 3 days or you come, 2 days this week, 3 days the next, whatever, people aren't sticking around. And part of the reason is that all of the cute little suburbs have their own cute little restaurants and their cute little downtowns, and you get cute all over the place. So today, when the Star Tribune publishes a story, the future of the Twin Cities destination suburbs may depend on Tuesdays. Does anybody want to go to Excelsior on Tuesday? Why? Now, the challenge is if you're a restaurant or a coffee shop and it's hard to make a business where you just make your money on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? So they need, or at least, I don't know, it used to be fine. It seemed like there used to be businesses that function just fine. Waterfront communities popular for day trips are finding new ways to bring people downtown beyond summer weekends. So on the one hand, you have these suburbs, your Stillwaters, your Excelsiors, your Wayzatas, your Waconias that are trying to get people to come during the week. And part of the reason that I am frustrated with this is that it doesn't make sense for the wider community. There are times, look, does it make sense for Excelsior? Yes. Excelsior has like 2 blocks on Water Street. It's really nice. It's really cute. They have some good restaurants. And what Excelsior wants is developers to put co-working spaces so people will come and work and then they'll like go to lunch. And I get it. Like that would be good for all those restaurants. But I don't think it's good for Minnesota to have a million little hubs of work all over the place. And then across the street from us, we've got a 25-story skyscraper that's totally empty. Am I just fighting a losing battle here? Is downtown just done and we are going to build little suburban, like little downtowns everywhere, and Excelsior, which already is cute on the weekend, now thinks they get to be cute every day? Part of the deal of living in a vacation style community is that you have a nice place to live. People do want to come and visit you on the weekend. But like, can we have something still in the city? Could we keep downtown maybe? Everybody doesn't need to be a tourist destination. And I think what White Bear Lake has been doing has been sort of intriguing. In White Bear Lake, they never really were a tourist thing because the lake isn't super accessible for regular folks, and there aren't a lot of businesses or anything on the lake. So what White Bear Lake, it just is like it's for the community. It's for the city. So if you live in White Bear Lake, you come downtown, you go to the restaurants, you shop, whatever, but that's it. Tourism is not part of the equation. They got a pharmacy, they got a dentist, they have a library. They do have a co-working space. But like, that's it. Chris is in Medina. Chris,
hey, Jason.
Do you need me to come out there on Tuesday night too? Like every suburb wants me coming. They want us coming all of the days. I don't know. What do you blame?
Stay in Maple Grove. No, I think what's happened is this is the economy, right? And the hub cities, through poor practices, bad economics by the student council, what they've done is they've created this void in the little cities, the little beaches, all that. They see the opportunity. That's how the economy works. As long as downtown Minneapolis has a void, because it's quite frankly, it's hard for businesses. They have anti-business practices. They're not going to win that dollar. And these small cities are seeing a great opportunity to win that dollar.
It's interesting. I don't disagree with you at all. I do think right now, if you had the ability to locate your business in White Bear Lake or in Excelsior versus locating it right in the middle of downtown, I'd probably put it wherever is closer to my house. You know, as the business owner, you'd want it because there is such an anti-business attitude from the city council, specifically of Minneapolis.
Absolutely. I'd put it in uptown Hamel, baby.
Yeah, nothing wrong with Hamel. Nothing wrong with him. Very good. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. It is opportunity. Chris is right. The suburbs are seeing the opportunity. Texter's saying depends on the suburb, right? Woodbury is a nice place to live, but who in their right mind is visiting Woodbury on a Tuesday? Another texter says, think about it. The majority of working professionals now have 2 working parents and kids. There's no time to battle traffic and parking, etc. I wonder this, though. Do you guys think, so say like downtown Minneapolis probably has what, 60, back in its heyday, would have 60,000 or so people coming down here to work. You could redistribute all those jobs, right? It's just offices. There's nothing particular about where you have these offices stacked up that matters. If you took all those jobs and redistributed them all into suburbia, all around the area, isn't that a major L for the overall community? Isn't that a major loss? Like, yes, individually for you, it's maybe closer to your home or it's easier to commute to. But at a certain point, like, have we just decided we don't give a crap about anything but ourselves? We just care about our own situation. Isn't there a bigger picture? And the bigger picture to me is that you do need a strong downtown hub for the central city. Although maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. Maybe you... I mean, the only people that get hosed in this transaction are people who do live in the city, who are going to have to figure out how to pay for city stuff. How do you pay for it if you don't have any of this business? I don't know. Texter says downtown is not attractive. It's a concrete canyon. Downtown is not inviting. Skyways are great, more likable than the Skywalk, except they close too early. No place anywhere to go to the bathroom. Yeah, like downtown could be more, I wish there were more plants and more greenery and more of that. But like, I don't think that's what's keeping people out of here. I don't think that's the issue. Oh, I wish there were more bathrooms. I don't think that's it. Let's break. Texter says, it's not my job to prop up downtown. I get it. But when everyone in Minnesota has decided it's not my job to do anything but to stick up for yourself, what is community? What is the point? And I understand, like, it's me first. Welcome to America. It's me first. Me. But I just think this attitude is not helpful for the overall community. It just isn't. And maybe we don't care. Maybe that's sort of where we're at. Let's break in a minute. I do want to weigh in on the president intervening, calling FIFA, asking for the American superstars' red card suspension to be reviewed. We'll talk about that. Where are you on that? 651-461-9226. Drive time back in a minute.
Drive Time with DeRUSHA is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
You ever have those moments, the sort of chaos that happens in your house where you're like, oh no. Maybe it's an outlet that just started sparking. Maybe it's a toilet that won't stop running. Maybe it's the basement drain that smells wrong. Oh no is the immediate reaction. But when you have that oh no moment, I want you to think about my friends at Randy's Electric and Plumbing. CallRandys.com is the website, and Call Randy's is exactly what I want you to do when you have that oh no moment. Because the licensed pros at Randy's Electric and Plumbing can save the day. They are ready to step up. When you say, oh, no, they say, oh, yes, we are ready to solve your problem. They can do rewiring. They can do plumbing repairs. They do sewer. They do drain. They do sump pumps. They do water heaters, water softeners, EV chargers. You name it. If it's electrical or plumbing, Randy's has you covered. Same-day repairs for sure. 2-hour arrival windows. I love that they give you honest pricing before any work begins. Oh, no, don't panic. Oh, no should be your moment to call Randy's. CallRandys.com or just make that phone call to Randy's Electric and Plumbing.
It's the 27th annual Anoka Riverfest and Craft Fair, presented by the Sorensens of Insurance Brokers of Minnesota. Bring the whole family for handcrafted treasures, tasty food, and live music in historic downtown Anoka. Free admission and parking, Saturday, July 11th. Learn more at AnokaRiverfest.org.
Dave Lee for Aquarius Home Services. We all know that home ownership can be a bit like a reality show. Your house loves drama. One day the AC simply quits. The dripping faucet keeps you up all night, or the light switch never turns off no matter which way you flip it. But Aquarius Home Services takes the drama away. Their trusted HVAC techs, plumbers, and electricians bring the calm back with $98 off any repair. Schedule today at AquariusHomeservices.com. Aquarius, earning the right to be recommended.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSHA.
It's so bold. It's adventurous. It's edgy. You know, it's
risky.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Should Donald Trump have called the head of FIFA? Should Donald Trump have called the head of FIFA and tried to get the red card heard around the world, get that suspension revoked? That question, which came in at 651-461-9226, is provocative, right? Because I have one reaction to this that is unequivocal. And that is, I'm glad that our team will be at full strength tonight. I am cheering for the United States of America. The fact that FIFA overruled they have a committee, they have a process. The fact that they revoked the suspension, I think, is unquestionably great. And this is the player, Folarin Balogun. He has been the top scorer for the United States. Now, when the president today talked about this, he sort of downplayed what he did. But The Guardian is reporting that the president made 3 calls to FIFA starting from Wednesday. But the president, as you know, is the recipient of the FIFA Peace Prize. And so along with that prestigious made-up award, you do get like sort of it's like a bat phone where you can get right to the head of FIFA. I am glad that Folarin Balogun is going to be on the pitch tonight. I'm glad. You don't need to be a little kind of lame ethics police. Like, I don't know if I'm going to cheer for America tonight. Get over yourself. Cheer for America. Be glad that our top scorer is going to be on the pitch. Here's the president sort of uncharacteristically downplaying what he did, yet also taking credit for it.
All I did, I asked for a review because I didn't think it was a foul. And, again, I'm good at this stuff. I didn't think it was a foul.
Yeah,
I thought it was two great athletes that crashed into each other and got entangled. That was not a guy punching somebody in the face or anything.
Yeah, that's what a red card
is.
It's got to be a punch.
And I think it's a terrible, if they wouldn't allow, a top player, maybe the best, maybe among the best players on the team.
We don't know.
To play. I think it would have had a big stain.
Well, this is not a stain at all. This has worked out fine. Look, in sports, when you have a chance to appeal something, go for it. Appeal. It's the USA team. The president is like buddies with the FIFA dude. And again, if you were to say, hey, Jason, the initial question, should the president have done this? I would say,
hey, Jason,
should
the president have done this?
I mean, what am I like? I'm so happy with the result. But
I think you can both be happy with the result.
No.
Point out the flaw in the process because there isn't a formal appeal process. That's part of the bit with the World Cup.
Right.
You don't get to appeal this. And the president, of course, rules are for other people. So he's going to make a phone call.
He's as you know, he's very familiar with
clearly
the rules of soccer.
Because red cards are just when you punch a guy.
I wish the president did not do this. And yes, a texter is saying, do we know how Cristiano Ronaldo got his suspension deferred? Because all of a sudden, everyone is an unbelievable expert at the entirety of the history of World Cup red card suspension deferrals. Yes, Cristiano Ronaldo did have his suspension deferred for a year, the same thing that happened to our guy today. Ronaldo's incident happened in a World Cup qualifying match, not in actual World Cup play. So that is different and yet similar, right? Where a star player did get sort of a lifeline thrown to him.
Well, and I think that's part of what,
Could this have happened anyway if the president didn't call?
could have. FIFA has the power to make that decision if they decide to review it. The question is, would they have even bothered to review it if it hadn't been for the
Probably not.
phone call? And that's part of, again, soccer not the national sport here in the United States, and yet we all want to jump in and have our opinion on this quote unquote controversy, largely because there's a political element to it, and we can't make anything in this country not political anymore. But the truth of the matter is you start reading about this sort of stuff, this kind of suspension, the reversal of a suspension, happens in soccer in various forms. It just hasn't happened in the World Cup.
Right.
And so the fact that it happened in the World Cup makes it this huge deal.
It's a big deal. Right. Right. Now, this is the logic that I don't understand. A texter, I cannot cheer for the U.S. after Trump stuck his filthy hand in. Is this how the Knicks won as well? Go Belgium. So I would say if you, because you hate Donald Trump so much, are going to cheer for Belgium now, you should probably pack up your house and move out of America because you are ridiculous. You are ridiculous. Now, this texter is a listener to the show. I'm going to give you a dispensation. You can stay. But anybody else, like if you listen to Kefa, if you're a Barrera listener and you're now cheering for Belgium, out.
Gone.
Strap you to like a Bugs Bunny style TNT.
Sure, little rocket.
Rocket.
Yeah.
And launch it right out of the cannon and you're gone. It's not his place to do it, nor was it any of his business, says a texter. What's next? I'm afraid to ask. I'm going to make a call to Odyssey and ask them to review your decision to.
And then the text just ends.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
What decision would
What
that be?
decision? Maybe review their decision to hire me. Look, having Flo back on the pitch is not a guarantee that we're going to win.
No, by a long shot, it's not.
And
but it certainly improves the chances.
Yeah. I mean, for all the people who say there's going to be an asterisk now, is there?
No.
Like, I don't.
People will forget about this in 10 minutes.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. In the scheme of things, do I think having a full team out there is good for America? I do. I think it's good for the team. I think it's good for the country tonight when everyone's going to be watching this match. I think it's good because
it's very probably going to set a viewership record in the country for a soccer event.
And we can look at the specifics. People want to litigate the specifics of whether it should have been a red card, it shouldn't. I will say I do not like in soccer that a red card means an automatic suspension for the next game. I think that's unique in sport. You don't really have an automatic suspension type offense for most
singular offenses.
Offenses.
Yeah, usually it's a
in here
litany of offenses that leads to suspension.
So I don't like this, especially since it's play-by-play. It's often like replay, VAR.
Well, I think that
leads to these red cards.
Yeah, I mean, red cards leading to suspension, that's been a thing for a long, long time. It's not like that just got invented for this.
I still cannot like it.
You absolutely cannot like it, but it's been part of the sport.
But yes,
right?
it is.
What's changed is the VAR, is the video assisted replay, right? Because this wasn't ruled a red card in regular play. It was during the whistle because it was called a foul. During the whistle, during that break, the referee gets a little buzz in his ear from the video official that says, hey, go look at this again.
Right.
And then when you look at these types of plays in slow motion, they look horrific compared to regular speed play.
Yeah.
And so if you're going to hit a guy with a red card that obviously is going to lead to a suspension, to do that only because you're looking at the slow-mo replay that looks so much worse than it actually was in real time, that seems hinky to me. And so that's where there's room, I think, to look at this and say, okay, you can't change that it was a red card, but we can change the fact that this kid was going to be suspended for the next game. FIFA has the ability to do that. It's not completely unprecedented. It just hasn't happened in a World Cup before.
If Kamala Harris were the president and she called FIFA,
it would be a completely different reaction.
I'm just saying, like, people's reaction to this is so ridiculous.
Well, it's
3 phone calls.
Well, but
it's Trump just like maybe he sent out one fewer Truth Social post because he was calling FIFA guy and like, hey, come on, I'm the Peace Prize winner. Give me this.
It's like what happens with everything else in this country. It suddenly has to be coded politically. You can't just have a thing because as long as he's attached to it. We have our silos that we've already put ourselves in politically. And so we have to react. Either it's the greatest thing ever because Trump's the greatest thing ever, or it's the worst thing ever because Trump's horrible.
I mean, it's mostly, I would say, it's good. Our guy's playing. USA, USA. This is not that difficult. Cheer for our team. We don't like cheating when other people cheat. When we cheat, it's called strategy. It's called outfoxing the competition. Dave Schwartz will weigh in on this in just a minute.
Drive Time with DeRUSHA on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Audion Hearing.
Apple is raising prices for several of its devices to offset rising memory chip costs. The company announced that the MacBook Pro is going up by $300 to $2,000, with price increases for iPads, the HomePod, Apple TV, and Vision Pro reality glasses. iPhone prices are unaffected, but analysts expect higher prices for the iPhone 18 lineup this fall. I'm Jason Brooks.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Taste what pork can do.com. Oh, yeah. It's Jason here for the Minnesota Pork Board. So glad to be talking about this unbelievably delicious protein. And I mention protein because so many of us are trying to eat more whole foods, local foods, and stuff that's just packed with nutrients and flavor. Minnesota Pork, checks all of those boxes. Now, tonight, pulled pork nachos sure would be nice tonight, wouldn't it? You still have time to throw that pork shoulder in, right? Throw it in the slow cooker. I don't know if you have that kind of time. Pork tenderloin, why not? Dinner, you need a dinner idea? Get to tastewhatporkcando.com. How about grilled pork and sausage sliders? Oh, man, that looks delicious. You get 12 slider buns. You get a pound of pork tenderloin, a little bit of Calabrian sausage, and off you go. So many recipe ideas at tastewhatporkcando.com, but get to that grocery store and butcher shop, and let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight.
See website for details. MyFastCash.com is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
The mechanic called. The repair's going to be $750.
Oh, we got rent and the car payment on top of groceries, gas, and other bills. We don't have an extra $750 right now.
We could try MyFastCash.com. When short on expenses, you can go to MyFastCash.com and could get money as soon as the next day.
MyFastCash.com.
Yes, they can connect you to one of the largest lender networks, and you can get a loan even with bad credit. We could be approved for up to $5,000 fast.
$5,000? That must be a long process.
Nope,
Hi,
approval
Dave.
can happen in just
Hello.
a few minutes right from your phone, and funds could hit
How
our
are you?
account by tomorrow.
How are you?
If you have a regular source
I made
of
it.
income
I'm back.
and a bank account, you
I
can
had
be
nothing but
approved for up
confidence
to
in you.
$5,000
I'm glad you did.
even with bad credit history. And
you
the
changed
cash can hit
locations?
your bank account the next day.
Honey, I'm going to
My kids are at
myfastcash.com
campus,
right
so I
now.
have the whole
Thank
house to
goodness.
myself. My If wife you still need extra works, so I cash, can go to anywhere in my house. myfastcash.com. That's myfastcash.com.
I chose the living room.
myfastcash.com.
Loan availability, approval, and funding times vary. Terms apply.
Summer is here and you need more room for your kids or grandkids and all their stuff. It's Jason DeRUSHA for Luther Kia of Bloomington. We're in the middle of the summer sticker sales event. 0% on all
interesting having the entire
Sportages and
house to
Sorrentos.
ourselves.
Specially marked vehicles have $750
Yeah.
bonus cash too.
I
Best
felt
cars
that-
for the
that
money on the
change of guilt
market. It's
yesterday. I
not
said
just
to
me
Shannon,
saying
I'm
it.
like,
It's U.S. News and World
feel kinda
Report.
bad,
Check out their
but it's
brand
so
new
nice,
facility.
like,
Luther Kia
having no
Bloomington now open at
responsibilities
35W
or
and
don't have to rush
494.
anywhere.
Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
Jason
home
went through
and
that.
out.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Overall, looking pretty decent, but we do have a crash up on the north side of the metro for Highway 10 westbound near Main Street. Look for the activity off to the right side and some minor slowdowns there. Slowdowns continue for West 94 as move past Wisconsin 35 south over to the St. Croix River Bridge, traveling south 169. Got your slowdowns 494 heading down to Old Shockville Road. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
We got a show and it's guys and dolls at Chin Heads and Dinatitas, and it's a knockout. The Pioneer Press called it a must-see. Star Tribune called it blazing with brilliance. You got gamblers, romance, and show-stopping tunes. Guys and dolls, visit ChinHeadsandDP.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast brought to you by Chanhassen Dinner Theater. Guys and dolls on stage right now. Here is Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
The storms to the northwest should fizzle out by the time they get here. 71 the overnight low tonight. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, should hit 88. It will be humid again. We'll see showers and thunderstorms pop to the west, work their way across the state. Should see that overnight as well as during the day on Wednesday. 82 will be the high Wednesday. We dry out Thursday into the weekend. We could be back up in the 90s.
Sun peeking out in downtown Minneapolis. It is 86 in Woodbury on CCO.
Drive Time with DeRUSHA, where the conversation's always in drive. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington on News Talk 830 WCCO. Now let's get a Monday rundown on the weekend in sports, where Dave brings the analysis and Jason brings the snacks.
Get your popcorn ready.
Time for some fun talking ball and other stuff with Dave Schwartz on Drive Time with DeRusha.
Dave Schwartz is with us. Dave, I want to talk a little bit about some of the time away that you've had. But before we get into that, we were talking before the break about the World Cup, about the president. We don't know how much influence he had, but he certainly tried to influence the process. I am squarely on Team USA. I blame FIFA for being corrupt and am glad that this maybe benefited us. Like, I don't know. Can't I just cheer for my own team? Why do I have to have some sort of moral opinion on whether we know what Donald Trump is? Do I need to have a new opinion on that? Not really. And so I'm glad that our guy gets to play.
I had two thoughts on this, and I was listening to your conversation as I was driving home today. And there's two things that keep sticking out to me. One is, this is the reason why in a big moment you don't use a red card, or you don't call that penalty or foul or whatever being the sport. In every sport, officials want to be in the background. They don't want to control the game. And so you don't call a game-changing penalty, foul, flag, whatever, unless it is absolutely apparent in real time that this is an infraction. And I would argue, and I've watched the play over and over, and I'm not the foremost authority on soccer. I understand if you lead with the cleat, it's an automatic red card. But you have to watch it in really slow motion from the right angle to see whether he led with the cleat before. Is it an infraction? Yes. But if you're not sure, you have to sit there and talk it over. Just give him a yellow card and move on. Don't give him the red card in that moment. That was
it's sort of these replay guys, and that's their job. They're the VAR, but it's come on.
But that's what we've gotten to a point now, is trying to keep sports from having any sort of human error. And it is not possible. And if people would just accept that that's part of sports and part of the game, maybe we wouldn't be in this situation in the first place. And they would have just given him a yellow card.
It's a great point.
Two, I don't know, and I don't know the inner workings of how the politics of this work, but I would venture to guess that the thing that spoke to FIFA most was not the president, but the dollar signs. This is, yes, they are technically a nonprofit, but they are in the business of making money, and they want to have the best player on the home team on the field. They want to sell tickets. They want TV ratings. It makes every bit of sense to make sure that he's on the field. So how much did the president actually convince him? I don't know. I think money did, and I think they're a smart business and said, yeah, we better have this guy on the field for the game.
It has been a great morality play today. Everybody's gotten to weigh in. Everybody's suddenly an expert on Cristiano Ronaldo's suspension being deferred. Texter says, Jason, you're wrong a lot, but really off base today. So far, basically saying that I'm saying that anything to win. And you know what? It's just a game. And so, yes, if if you got a corrupt parent organization or an organization that is so weak that they can be manipulated by the president of the United States, I'm not really mad that the president of the United States did something to help the USA team. I mean, do I wish he were a better human? Sure. But like, am I really that upset that the president tried to help our team out? No.
This happens in all sports. I know that people are like, well, this is corrupt. It's only soccer. But how many times have you seen a guy get a penalty for hitting a quarterback that seemed almost nothing, very minimal, but he gets a huge flagrant foul? How many times could Jordan or Kobe or LeBron drive the hoop and get a fingernail on them and it's a foul? So a league protecting its star players in their best interest, this is not new to sports. It's just a more amplified stage.
Dave Schwartz is with us. Twins. The Twins finally took a series in New York against the Yankees. Should we start thinking about the parade route?
Yes, it'll go right by Yankee Stadium, and then it'll make oh, you mean in Minneapolis?
I mean, was nice. It was nice to see the boys pitch well, and Joe Ryan was amazing.
Joe Ryan was great. Yep, and Joe Ryan.
It was a fun little series.
It's a fun. Anytime you can beat the Yankees, it's fun. I mean, how many? I cannot tell you how many times I sat in Yankee Stadium. Well, twice. As the Twins got run out of there in the postseason.
Turns out you can tell us.
But it seemed like it was a lot more.
Yeah. It's, I mean, I think the Twins, if I remember right, they've won like 5 out of the last 6 series they've had. It hasn't been a sweep situation.
No, but they've been stacking series victories.
Series victories up, which, I don't know, in a way, is this the best case situation for Twins ownership? Is this the worst case situation? Because they're not over 500, but they're in it enough where I think if you're, at least at this point, if you're like selling, you have failed the fans. Dave?
Well,
it's a bold statement by me.
You're saying if you're trying to sell it, you're that they failed
players. If you're selling players,
well,
if you're at the trade deadline, I think they have to make an effort to add,
especially after the lead owner person came out in spring training and said, the goal is to play meaningful games in September, and I'm a go big or go home guy. You'll see that. So you make those 2 statements and you get to a point where you're close to the trade deadline and you're in the conversation for a playoff spot. If you start selling guys off, how much credibility does the ownership have is a question with a lot of the fans, but it's gone completely if you do that.
Well, but what's he supposed to say to start the season? I mean, and I agree with you. If you're going to make those statements, you should back them up. But what are you going to say? You're going to say, hey, listen, we really stink this year. I mean, don't even bother. You can't do that. Now, there's got to be middle ground between we stink and we're going for everything, right? Maybe that's the play, is that, we're just going to kind of to see where it goes. I don't know. I mean, to be a seller, you got to have a really good someone to sell. And I don't know on this team, you're not going to get rid of Joe Ryan. You're not going to get rid of Byron Buxton. You look up and down the roster.
I think they could, though. I think they could. Joe Ryan could get moved. Keishel could get moved, I think.
Keishel maybe.
Good. You're going to get a bag of baseballs for him at this point. Ryan Jeffers is the other one. Jeffers is the other one.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. There's no giant stud on the team other than Byron, who has said he doesn't want, he has a no trade clause. So
yeah. It's just, it's a hard spot to be in. You can't win. I mean, you can't, excuse me, when you come out and you say that at the beginning of the season and now you're where you are, what's the argument? Do you want to play meaningful games in September? Well, they're meaningful to us because you get revenue in the door. But is that meaningful to fans when you're 7 games out? Probably not.
Could you sort of play it both ways in the sense that what you desperately need on this club, obviously, is bullpen help? Offense, they're one of the top offenses in the American League. So
I think they've scored the most runs, haven't they?
Right. You could take a Ryan Jeffers and say, obviously a big part of the offense early in the year, but obviously they've been okay without him. Could you take a Ryan Jeffers whose contract is expiring at the end of this season,
Mm-hmm.
move him, go get some bullpen pitchers instead of dealing prospects necessarily? Could you deal from the major league roster there and say, okay, we're going to part with this guy, but we're not bringing back people for the future. We're bringing back people that can help this team right now.
Well, if he's the most tradable asset, then yes. But why? I would argue, why are you bringing players to help you right now when there isn't enough help out there to put you over the hump? It's when the Timberwolves trade for LaMelo Ball, they do that because they have Anthony Edwards in his prime, and this is the time to make a move. I don't know that the Twins are close enough to their best roster, so to speak, to be able to bring back a help now kind of player. Does that make sense? I don't know if it's there.
It's what is the goal then, right? I mean, if you're going to bring guys in, does it have to get you a championship, or is it enough at this point, given where this team has been? Again, going back to 2023, if you get yourself into the playoffs, right? If you can get yourself into a postseason, given what's happened the last couple of years in between the last time they were in the playoffs, especially given the fact that who knows what kind of season we're going to have or not have next year, is that enough? Is it enough to just say, look, we're trying to push into the playoffs, and then you roll a dice and see what happens? Is it going to get you a championship? Probably not.
No, but
does it buy you some goodwill with the fans? And I think that'd be worth it for the organization right now.
I don't know if anything can buy goodwill with the fans right now. I mean, I swear every time I see a story on anywhere,
right?
It's people like saying that, is there anything that's going to be goodwill? I don't know that that'll do it. But truly, if you look at it from a baseball standpoint, if Jeffers is your most tradable asset and you can get something in return that can help you, maybe not this year, but next year or the year after, I say you do it, especially with such minimal trade assets on your roster right now. If you have people calling, there's going to be teams calling. You could make the deal. That's just what you're going to get in return. I don't think people are going to stack the ballpark for what you're going to get in return for Ryan Jeffers.
All right, let's break. Dave Schwartz continues in just a minute here on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSHA on News Talk 830 WCCO.
It is Jason here for my dermatologist, Dr. Mohiba Tureen at Tureen Dermatology, and we are headed for another scorcher this weekend. Most of us know we should be wearing sunscreen, but do you know why it matters so much? July is UV Safety Awareness Month. At Tureen Dermatology, Dr. Tureen, and we were talking this weekend, she really wants you to understand that sun protection and UV rays is not just about sunburns. UV rays are the leading cause of premature aging, dark spots, skin cancer. So you know what you have to do. I wear a broad spectrum SPF every single day, rain or shine. It's one of the most powerful things you can do for your skin's long-term health. This July, they're making it easier than ever to protect your skin. And I do get my sunscreen from Tureen Dermatology. A lot of guys, I don't know, you don't like that kind of slimy feeling that a lot of sunscreens can leave you on your face. Tureen Dermatology, they can help you with that. They have great products over there. 20% off all of their sunscreen products at TureenDermatology.com. Maybe you need an appointment. They're welcoming new patients within 3 weeks, 11 locations. Start protecting your skin today. Do it at TureenDermatology.com.
Conversation, not confrontation.
My basis of feeling proud of the country isn't solely dependent on politics.
Thought-provoking.
We live in Minnesota. I mean, we know a thing or two about fraud.
Sharp opinions.
Workplace recycling is among the biggest shams in the history of shams.
Solid Minnesota.
Oh, we only lost 4-3 to the Dodgers. Way to go, team. Stop with the moral victories.
Minnesota's radio station. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Herschel Walker for 3 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks, and an assortment of other picks and players.
Some trades don't work out.
Some do. Borofka's furniture trading event has proven so popular that we've decided to offer it full-time.
We'll give you $100 credit towards the Craftsman direct price of your $2,000 purchase of beautiful Borofka's furniture.
Don't kick that old end table to the curb.
Trade it in for $100 credit on your purchase.
Bedroom, dining room, anything your heart desires. Up to 2 $100 trade-in credits towards new furniture from Borofka's.
It's a great way to upgrade your decor and save money at the same time.
Speaking of trades, I'd like to trade my jelly and spinach sandwich for your egg salad sandwich.
Oh, Joe. Borofka's. No gimmicks, haggling, or hard to understand pricing. in Minnetonka, Woodbury, and Burnsville.
Decidedly different.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where supplies start at just 25 cents?
Staples has the latest laptops with up to 40% savings.
I may hug the cashier.
So embarrassing.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples with up to 40% off select tech. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Have you ever felt like you were living just a B or B plus life? It's so dangerous to live that, more dangerous than a B minus or a C plus life, because when you're living a B or B plus life, you don't change it. You think it's good enough. Is it? I'm Susie Welch. I host a podcast called Becoming You. People think, okay, an A plus life is not available to me, but there is a way. We are all in the process of becoming ourselves. Listen to Becoming You wherever you get your podcasts.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And State Patrol just arriving on the crash. It's Cedar Avenue northbound as you make way toward Highway 62. Right lane is shut down. Activity off to the right shoulder. Get ready for your slowdowns as you move past 66th Street. 94 westbound. Some slowings move past 494. Head over to Weaver Lake Road. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Get your home into the comfort zone with Metro Heating and Cooling.
An air conditioner at Metro Heating and Cooling is, on average, only $5,400 installed. Find out more at metroheating.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Metro Heating and Cooling bringing us the weather forecast tonight. Mostly cloudy, low of 71. Tomorrow and Wednesday, chance of showers again. Sort of scattered scenario. Tomorrow, 88. Wednesday, 82. Going to be real hot and humid. This weekend, it's 88 on CCO.
Drive time with DeRUSHA.
He creates a narrative that is advantageous to him. And frankly, at times it's disturbing.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Continental Diamond time check is 5:54. ContinentalDiamond.com should be your pre-owned watches headquarters. They got more than 100 of them. Rolex, Omega. Just looking through Cartier, IWC, some beautiful watches. Check them out on the website, ContinentalDiamond.com. Dave Schwartz is with us. Dave, you were just on a pretty epic little trip, right?
Yeah, it was fun. I was at on a backpacking trip with my son and his Scouting America troop. There were 8 boys, 4 adults, and we backpacked through the mountains in Cimarron, New Mexico. We did 60 miles over 9 days with 40 to 45 pound packs.
Wow.
Somehow I survived.
It's amazing. Was it? I mean, what was the hardest part about it? Was it the physical aspect of it?
Physical and mental. It was. There were a couple days where we were hiking through forests that had been in a forest that had been in a forest fire years before, and they called it the burn. So you're hiking uphill 90 degrees, 85, 90 degrees. Whatever they say about a dry heat, it's still hot. But what I remember most, and I'm really grateful I did it, it's the mental aspect of it. Your body, I mean, I'm 47. My body always hurts, especially when I do physical activity like that. It's always going to hurt. But it's that little voice in your head that says, you can't do this. You're done. Tap out. And you have no choice but to keep going. So I really enjoyed that challenge. What I really enjoyed was seeing the kids overcome that, was seeing these 14 to 16-year-old kids thinking, I'm out, I can't do this anymore, including my son, and saying, no, I can do it. And then being able to say to them after, you did this, now go back to your regular life. And anything that seems hard isn't going to seem that bad because you just did this. And it's incredible. It's really, I was very grateful to be a part of that.
Are the Timberwolves going to get LeBron James? Mark wants to know, do you think, what do we have? All the reporting has said they're giving it a full shot.
I mean, if he's interested,
if you're LeBron,
he wants to win. Obviously, he wants to win another title. I would say there's probably 4 or 5 teams with legitimate chances. I think the Timberwolves could be considered in that group. The idea of being able to play with Anthony Edwards and now LaMelo Ball, it's interesting. I think they have as good a chance as some other teams, but not all teams. But you know what? Forever we've said, no way, Minnesota.
Yeah.
And finally we can say, why not Minnesota? Why not come here?
If LeBron wants to be the greatest of all time, imagine bringing a world championship to a state that had the last men's world championship in 1991. Be pretty great. Then you're the GOAT. Otherwise, you're just like, you're taking the layup as far as I'm concerned, LeBron.
Yeah,
Tough it up.
He's just so then. He's not that great.
He's soft. He's soft is what he is. He's no Jordan.
Rise to the challenge, LeBron.
Yes.
This is it.
Thanks, Dave.
You got it.
Steve Thompson straight ahead.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance.